1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
It's
Welcome back. Welcome back to the Racial Draft Podcast. It is absolute chaos here on Mother's Day weekend, and we are here for the mother of all Racial Draft podcasts. I am joined by the Mother of Draftins herself, Kia Lisi, surveying us from her perch in the darkness. Kia, how are you on this Mother's Day?
I'm doing well. Thank you for saying Happy Mother's Day. Oh, wait, you didn't. No, nobody here did, but it's all good. I'm doing great.
Happy Mother's Day, Kia.
I'm just going to celebrate right now.
Nice. We are joined by not mothers, but maybe motherfuckers. I'm not sure. From the white delegation, Gordy himself. Gordy, how's it going?
I'm good. Happy MILF Day, Kia.
Nice. And also joined by from the black delegation, Randy. Randy, how's it going?
He's a bad mother. Shut your mouth.
Nice. And we are here to do what we do every week, and that is change the complexion of the comic book universe, one draft pick at a time. We are the Racial Draft Podcast. If this is your first show, I apologize, but hopefully you are here for the ride, because it is a wild ride this week. Right off the bat, I'm going to apologize to the listeners. If you joined us waiting to find out who our champion was going to be according to FCL scoring, you're gonna have to wait another week for our championship extravaganza. Hopefully you're still with us, because we are still going to get it popping, because we've got a lot of ground to cover. We have a lot of news. We still have some racial draft business, because we've got our final round of the supplemental draft, and we also have nominations for season ending awards. Exciting business. But like I said, we're going to dive into the news. We're going to get everybody's takes on the news. One of the bigger stories of the week is that Marvel dropped a trailer.
White Deuce.
They dropped a white deuce of a trailer on us, and it was quite long. It was quite puffy, and it gave us the Phase 4 timeline. And what was everyone's take on the Phase 4 timeline, guys?
I am ready.
What about you, Gordy? Which movie are you most looking forward to in Phase 4?
I gotta admit, I think I'm in the most on the Eternals. I just, because I don't know what it's gonna be. We can all speculate at lots of the other ones, but the Eternals to me is almost a blank slate, and I'm excited for that.
All right, Kia, what about you? What was most excited you?
Actually, the Eternal was the one that excited me as well. And the only thing that doesn't excite me is how long I have to wait. I mean, I don't know if I'll be alive in 2023.
Well, hopefully this show will be alive in 2023, and we'll be able to give you our takes on them. But I'm going to run it down for the listeners. The movies that made their way into the Marvel trailer. That's Black Widow, July 9th, 2021. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, September 3rd, 2021. Eternals, November 5th, 2021. Spider-Man No Way Home, December 17th, 2021. So that is 4 movies in the second half of this year. In 2022, there's 4 movies in the full year, and that is Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, March 25th. Thor Love and Thunder, May 6th. Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, July 8th. And The Marvels, the sequel to Captain Marvel, which has gotten a lot of Redditors and incels into a tizzy. And in 2023, we only have 2 movies, but I think there might be more, because there's Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania in February, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 in May, and Fantastic Four has been undated, but we do know it's going to be part of Marvel Phase 4, as I used to call it, Phase Fantastic. But I think that a lot of people are going to be looking forward to Fantastic Four. I think a lot of people are ready to see who, you know, see who the big four, the first family, if you will, are going to be. But
Mhm.
oh, I mean, I'm a big Spider-Man mark, so I'm looking forward to No Way Home. I'm hoping that it's not as multiverse heavy as some people want it to be, but it's going to still be exciting.
We know you're racist against the multiverse. We know.
Look,
Black
all
people
I'm s-
can't be racist. They can only be prejudiced.
I'm just saying that those people who want to keep universes separate but equal, just you gotta keep them apart.
Mike, does that make you a dimensionist?
Listen, all I say is any Earth that I'm on is Earth One. That's how I feel. You know?
Wow.
His
Wow.
mind's gonna be blown when the alien stuff comes out from the US. He's gonna be like, "What? You're in Dimension 3? What?"
Listen, at least when my alternate Earth doppelganger shows up, he'll know exactly what I'm on because we'll all think the same way. So if the alt Earth version of me comes in and says that he's pro multiverse, that's how I've been replaced by a doppelganger.
So I mean, honestly, like as surprising as this is, the one that I'm most anticipating would have to be Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and I would say maybe in second place would be Spider-Man. Spider-Man No Way Home. No Way Home.
Yeah, No Way Home. Mm-hmm.
And then I would say Shang-Chi, but like they're like closely tied, just because I really am kind of just like, I want to see Shang-Chi be great, but also I am already on board with Spider-Man, and kind of just freaking out at what exactly the multiverse means for them, like how multiverse will they get, and like what exactly it entails.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not just like, oh, just throw in all the multiverse stuff, but like specifically what things they decide to pick and choose is going to be kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, I love a good segue. So speaking of Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness, there was a little bit of news that perked people up, and it was an interview that Kevin Feige did about WandaVision, where he disclosed that in the original version of WandaVision that they had conceived of, Doctor Strange was going to make an appearance in order to transition that directly into Multiverse of Madness. But at the last minute, they decided that it was probably not a good approach to take to have a white man come up and clean the situation up. As the representative from the white delegation, Gordy, how do you feel about having white hegemony challenged by Kevin Feige? Do you feel affronted at all?
I mean, listen, I have no problem with it, but I have to admit, I'm against when they're ignoring what happens in the real world. I mean, in the real world, a team of white men, but a team of white men would have descended upon that town. But also in my world, Wanda would have gotten in trouble for kidnapping a whole town of people. So I don't know. I feel like towards the end of that series, we threw logic out the window.
I disagree, because I think that the Scarlet Karen would have cried and escaped all accountability. So
the thing that kind of like popped into my mind was like how the entire time I was like kind of hoping / expecting Clea to show up. And then when I find out that Doctor Strange was going to be like the one that was behind sending the commercials, I was like, okay, wait. You didn't want to have the white guy do it. Why didn't you have Clea do it instead?
That was one of my theories. One of my theories was that Clea was in there at the behest of Doctor Strange.
Right. I'm like, that
might have
been
squared the circle
perfect.
a little bit.
It would have been so perfect. And it's like I'm the kind of person who's like, I'm always looking at like what angle of the story, like who can be included here, who is like a good fit to like kind of expand on that universe. And I'm like, dang, maybe that's not a big opportunity for that.
Right. Kia, do you have any thoughts about Doctor Strange's appearance or non-appearance in WandaVision?
I really don't care
I
about
can
whether he
respect
showed
that.
up or not. I mean, did we need another man in there? No, we did
I,
not.
I agree. Well, that brings us to our next story. Speaking of men not being where they're expected to be, Noah Centineo. This is not really racial draft oriented unless things change. Noah Centineo had been cast to play He-Man in the Masters of the Universe movie with between Sony and Netflix for Mattel Films, and Noah Centineo is now out of the role, in part because he's going to be playing a what is the name of the character he's going to be playing in Black Adam?
Adam Smash.
Adam Smash.
Adam
White Adam. No, I'm just
Yes.
kidding.
African American Adam, Kia.
Oh.
But yes,
What
Adam.
is? I mean, can he just be Afro Adam or something like that? Or
Well, it does depend
like,
on
does
how
he?
the
Is
Black
he really
delegation
American?
finishes.
I think a certain something kicked in.
You're right.
All the time, Randy. I am deep all the time.
You are right, though. He's not American, so it's African Adam. That's probably
I
a
knew
fair.
it.
Nice. But yeah, Noah Centineo, who is going to be appearing in the Black Adam movie, is out as He-Man. Now, I'm not going to put anybody on the spot and say that we should be fan casting He-Man, but someone needs to get Jason Momoa on the horn.
I am going to like reverse fan cast and say that I am very happy that he is not in the role of He-Man. Just like forget the acting part. I've seen him working out and he's not there yet. Like he needs to take a little bit longer and earn the He-Man position. Just saying. Yeah. So I'm happy that they decided to move along without him.
That is a fair point.
Wow.
Kia, do you have any additional thoughts about He-Man?
He-Man. I only remember like the old school He-Man. Like there used to be like a cartoon and a TV show. Or maybe I'm thinking of Beastmaster. Did he have like little ferrets?
That was absolutely Beastmaster.
Yeah, Beastmaster had a ferret. He-Man definitely had a toy. The Masters of the Universe. I Have the Power. All of that.
Oh yeah, I was definitely thinking of the ferret.
Well,
Ferrets rock.
Well, speaking of our 80s cartoons / toys, Transformers is still a thing. And their upcoming movie is a little bit, we'll say racially drafted, because there's some quote unquote ethnic individuals who have been cast for this movie, and it's going to be directed by Anthony. I was about to mess his name up. Anthony Ramos is going to be directing, and Anthony Ramos is going to be starring. Stephen Caple Jr., who you might know from the last Creed movie, is going to be directing it, and they recently cast Dominique Fishback, who you might know from.
Is that a stripper name?
Not any stripper that I've given money to, so I can't say.
Yeah, Fishback is coming to the stage. Doesn't quite work.
No. I agree.
I do not want the word
kind of sensual
coming up in any context. No.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm not saying it was a high class strip club.
Oh wow. I'm apologizing in advance for Dominique Fishback in case she ever wants to come on our show. Well, she was up for, I believe she was up for an Oscar for Judas and the Black Messiah.
But now she can do a striptease to that "Give Me That Filet of Fish" song from the McDonald's commercial.
Wow. This
Okay,
is really.
So quick question: if she's up for like one of the leading roles, is she gonna be a human, or is she gonna be like, oh well, we finally got diversity because she's gonna be a black quote unquote robot?
No, I think she's going to be playing a person.
Oh wow! What is progress?
Yes. Yes.
Randy, did you see their former attempt at a black robot? And I think it was the second Transformers.
That's actually my favorite move that I like to do on the dance floor.
Listen,
the black robot.
Yes.
Listen, the less said about the Sambo bots, the better. Okay. Because that was rough. There was there was some definite minstrel vibes going on with us. But yeah, you might know her from The Hate You Give, Project Power, and Judas and the Black Messiah. She is coming on into her own as an actress, and you might also know her from The Nick. But I'm looking forward to seeing Dominique Fishback in a Transformers movie.
Good for her.
Yes. Additionally, we are running through these news stories, guys. Additionally,
well, speak slower.
I'm gonna.
Gordy, why are you looking at me funny?
There's some. Don't take the bait. Don't take the bait, Gordy. Don't take the bait. So we have two stories. We have two stories from the Flash television show. Who here is still watching the Flash?
Yes, I am.
Well,
how'd you see him?
Far behind. I haven't even seen the Elongated Man yet, so I'm pretty far behind.
Elongated Man, also a stripper name.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
But
sadly,
so we have some.
Sadly, not my stripper name.
You missed his grand opening and his grand closing. Like, he's already out of the show for being racist and like whatever. So,
I've heard that they're going to recast him. So
yeah,
you know, maybe they'll cast the black man as the Elongated Man. You know,
that would make sense.
It'll bring it into racial draft business. So we have some good news and some bad news. Which one would you like to hear in the good news, bad news Flash story?
Bad news.
Good news.
We will start
I'm gonna break the tie and say bad.
Bad news. We will start with Tom Cavanaugh and Carlos Valdez will be leaving the show after this season.
Is that bad?
Cisco and Harrison Wells will no longer be part of the show on a regular basis, but they're still open to possibly recur.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, they've been there since the beginning.
Yes, right. 7 seasons.
They made enough money.
I mean, that's particularly sad for Vibe, just because like his character is like the iconic version. Like, anybody that would know the obscure character Vibe, like, would know of his version.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, I definitely hope that they will capitalize on the popularity of the CW character and bring back Cisco and give him the personality and give him that personality. It's different Cisco. But I mean, who knows? Maybe he'll call someone Thong Song in the final season. I mean, we did get actual Cisco in Legends of Tomorrow, which has also returned.
And he actually played Thong Song.
That's right.
On the episode.
That's why we love Legend of Tomorrow. So that was the sad news from the Flash, but the good news from the Flash is that Nora West Allen, aka XS, will be appearing in the 100th episode. Sorry, the 150th episode of the Flash. Nora, who was not reportedly, but actually erased from the timeline.
She was very dead. Yes.
She was erased from time, will somehow be unerased so that she can appear in the 150th episode. Of course, we here in the Racial Draft are Team Nora because she is multiracial, unlike in the books where she is not multiracial.
And we also got like set photos and stuff of
multiracial Impulse.
Brother. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Comic accurate costume. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Continuing to further my futuristic multiracial agenda. So that is our Flash news. Good news and bad news from the Flash universe.
That was over in a flash. Gordy, you know that was a good one.
Well played. I'll have to get the drum sound for you for next week.
Well, we are staying in the CW universe, and we're going to talk about. I know at least one person on this podcast is not a big Bat Family lover. but a very popular member of the Bat family, aka the spoiler, Stephanie Brown, will be appearing in an upcoming episode of Batwoman. There was a little bit of consternation because the actress cast is a redhead and Stephanie Brown has blonde hair. And, you know, there are many people who feel affronted by hair colors.
Gingers are the best.
if I can just offer my perspective here as somebody who considers myself like the arch nemesis of man, I don't. I'm not a ginger yet. I will soon be replacing a redhead in the near future. Trust me. But no, but I mean the idea of all these people who are like complaining about Stephanie Brown. We have just gotten like one single still of this character, and she also has like inscriptions and stuff like that look like they might be part of a puzzle or some kind of a clue based thing. Her father is clue master, so I'm actually not really mad about it. I mean, I can't really hold myself to this this idea of like sticking so much as a stickler to like every last physical thing. We haven't seen the context that she's showing up yet. Like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. did when they first had Adrienne Palicki show up as Mockingbird. She's in like Hydra uniform and her hair is brown. Like we don't know what the heck is going on, why she looks the way she looks. She could be in disguise. It could be anything. So I mean, I am, you know, Bruce gets no love from me, but I am more than willing to give Stephanie Brown a chance.
Nice. And yeah, I mean, as far as I know, we've never gotten a live action Stephanie Brown. So you would think that, you know, the spoiler hive, if you will, would be happy to finally get a live action incarnation. And if she becomes popular, which, you know, CW is often very good about taking these characters that are not well known and building up fan bases. We just talked about Cisco Ramon, and you know, if they can do something similar with Stephanie Brown, that would be great for the spoiler hive. So
we literally have seen this brand new character, Dreamer, Nicole Maines, over on Supergirl, and she's killing it every time she shows up. And we are now getting her actually appearing from the TV show in the comics. So I wouldn't be getting them to like. I wouldn't be catching the attitude if I was them. They better just hush.
Or to get the backhand.
Yeah, I'm like, take the gift for what it is and like ride it out, because we haven't seen anything negative yet that should like give us reason to feel like there's something wrong about who the character is.
Right. So we have another news story. This is right in the wheelhouse of the racial draft. It involves Kia. Are you familiar with a character named Red Sonja?
I see her every month.
Totally different.
Wait, Kia.
Yeah.
Don't you mean you used to see her every month?
Oh gosh.
Oh wow. He just said that I went through menopause.
Wow. That was an unacceptable shot, Gordy.
Man, that was a shot in the uterus.
That's how you bring the podcast to a I know, right on, Mother. I mean, you could have went the other direction. Wow. But no, Red Sonja is you might have, there was an 80s movie with her. She was being played by Brigitte Nielsen. She is a spin-off character from Conan, and she is notable for
that's not the same as Beastmaster either, is it?
Also not the same as Beastmaster. That is correct.
Are you sure ferrets weren't even in Conan? Are you sure?
But yeah, she is obviously known for her red hair. We do love our gingers here in the Racial Draft podcast.
Until it's time to replace them with black people.
I love me some gingers.
But yes, she had a resurgence of sorts under Gail Simone in the comic book world. Is the comic Dynamite? Is it a Dynamite comic?
Dynamite.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or is it Boom Studios?
I was hoping that one of you knew.
Boom Studios, get it?
Give me a second.
both of which sound like they could be porn studios, but that is the names that they chose.
I mean, Red Sonja could be a stripper name for sure.
I mean, the costume speaks for itself for anyone aware of the character.
True.
That is correct.
You know, I wonder with this, does this mean we're gonna get a Conan movie after?
People are calling for it. People are calling for it. Yeah.
But I mean, I'm just curious because I know, you know, Red Sonja is related to Conan, is in that world, but now Conan is a Marvel property.
Ooh, good point.
Honestly, they're kind of bringing back like the nostalgia thing. Like that's just the wave now. So I wouldn't be surprised if they made some kind of deal. And you know, even especially since like Conan is under the Marvel properties, but like he wouldn't be in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Right. My understanding is that he's only licensed for comic purposes.
Yeah.
So he can be in the.
Yeah.
His movie rights may be all over the place.
Yeah,
and
but
also, did you mention the best part of that news?
I was just about to get to it, which is that we have a casting for that lead role of Red Sonja, Hannah John Kamen, who you might know.
That was going to be Scarlett.
How is it pronounced? Kamen?
I think it's pronounced Common. I believe.
Okay.
So.
Hannah John Kamen, who you might know if you were a Marvel fan. She played Ghost in the Ant-Man and the Wasp, but she's also been featured in a couple episodes of Black Mirror. She was in Game of Thrones. She was a lead character in Brave New World, and she was also a main character in Killjoys.
Yeah.
Brave New World was a good show, guys.
But
I'm gonna go ahead. So are you familiar with the actress Kia?
Yes, if it's the one I'm thinking.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and share the link in the chat.
And like she did such a good job in Brave New World. Like I'm so mad they stopped that. Like I felt that.
No, I was about to say the other good news in that announcement of Red Sonja is that Gail Simone announced that she was actually going to be involved in like the development of the movie.
Yes, that is true. That was a more recent part of the story, just in the last couple of days. But earlier, the casting was the important story because, as we know, Hannah John Kamen is a Black woman.
I feel kind of bad. That's not who I was thinking of, but she's cool too.
Well. And, you know, there were ostensibly people who were like, that's not fair. Her hair's not red, because apparently dye doesn't exist in their world.
I mean, redheads occupy like what is it, like 2% of the human population on Earth? Like, what in the world are they like? I mean,
I don't even think it's that high.
Right. Yeah. It's like people with naturally red hair.
I have red pubes. Just kidding.
Not this week, Kia. Not this week.
Are you kidding, Kia? No, but the as was stated by the only acceptable ginger in the Black New World Order, Gail Simone. Most of the people who we know as redheads in Hollywood are themselves not naturally redheads. So I mean, yeah.
Name one.
I don't know.
Exactly.
Apparently, Gail has some secret, hidden, adept knowledge of the redhead world, and I trust her judgment.
Lindsay Lohan, not a real redhead.
Oh, that I believe.
Actually, no, she was a real redhead. Even if you look at her from when she was in Parent Trap, she was definitely redheaded.
Kia, I'm going to tell you something that might shock you. Parent Trap was also a movie, and they had hair dye back then.
Also, she's not actually a twin sister. They used
I know that she did a double job. That's why she's double the trouble. She's the gum.
I'm sorry, twin cousins. But yes, I am pulling for Hannah John Kamen in.
I'm googling this
one. And I will be there on day one for the Red Sonja.
I'm pulling for Gail Simone because if you look at it, she is sort of killing it right now. She's got Red Sonja. Then she's got what, two or three of her created characters in the Suicide Squad movie.
Mhm.
Gail Simone is killing it right now. Good for her.
Yeah.
Right. And you know, as the foremost racial draft expert on fridging, I think that it's very important that you honor Gail Simone at any possible turn.
Amen.
You guys are wrong.
Wait,
Lindsay
till
Lohan
we
is
get
a
to-
natural redhead.
Oh, okay. Well, she's of like the 4 natural redheads in Hollywood.
I am not going to ask for photographic proof. I'm going to leave that for our Patreons. And that brings us to the biggest story by far of the week for our purposes as part of the racial draft. There is a search in Warner Brothers.
Oh,
We talked about this a couple weeks ago when it was announced that Ta-Nehisi Coates is going to write a Superman movie. It has been confirmed, as much as it can be confirmed without actually being confirmed, that they are looking for, in fact, a Black Superman.
Mhm.
Now, I thought we already
I think I'm
went ahead.
underwhelmed.
I thought we went ahead and
Asian.
cast. I thought we went ahead and cast him as Reggie Jean Page from Bridgerton. I feel like that's just waiting to be announced. But
I wouldn't be
are-
surprised.
What'd you say? What'd you say, Mark? Sorry, Randy.
No, I was about to say I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah.
Yes. I know that there are a lot of people mad.
I'm mad.
You're mad, Kia? Let's find out.
I'm
Why are you mad?
freaking pissed. Because
Tell us
the
why.
Superman of now is the best Superman.
Henry Cavill?
Y'all.
mean-
Y'all.
I am a fan of Henry Cavill. I'm not gonna lie.
Henry Cavill can get it.
But I think
This is true.
they sort of felt like
amen.
if they can't bring back Henry Cavill,
I
No.
would accept Henry Cavill in black.
whoa.
Yeah, I said
Uh,
it. I did it. I said it.
now,
What
all,
happened?
now all I can imagine is Henry Cavill showing up for like the audition in blackface, being like,
Oh man. Well, unfortunately, we will not be getting blackface Henry Cavill.
Unfortunately.
But
Do not use that clip.
he's like, what? I got rid of the mustache.
exactly. Blackface Henry Cavill will be auditioning for Ta-Nehisi Coates' Superman.
All I had to do was just apply the mustache waxing stuff on my face. It's good.
Oh man.
No, but seriously, this is where I go to my soapbox. So I'm gonna start with this. I was not asking for a Black Superman. Like if they said that they were not doing a Black Superman, I wouldn't have a problem with it. But the idea that we should be offended at the notion of a Black Superman is where I sort of get into my feelings. I think that if we can imagine a world in which Superman is Russian, we can imagine a world where Superman is Black. They've already said that this is not going to be in the mainstream DC universe, which, alternate universes and all my
I
negative
want a
feelings about that,
Punjabi Superman.
like if it was up, if we were going to race bend Superman, even though we've done that here for one season in the racial draft, the fact that in season 1, the Latinx delegation drafted.
How about an Iranian Superman? They have sexy dark features. What's up?
I mean, when we have our Iranian delegation, hopefully they'll make that move. But like, I think that it's possible I think of course it's possible to make a movie that has Superman as a Black man and explore different perspectives of what it would mean in the universe if Superman were Black. I think that there's
what's crazy here is now I have to kind of like be like the mirror universe me, who's like kind of anti the Black Clark Kent, and only just because, I mean, as valid as it is that we could absolutely have a Black Clark Kent, they have made me incredibly angry at the lack of distinct Black characters who exist in this universe.
Yes.
In this DCEU, okay, look,
Right.
I have been saying from jump, we need to, like, they could have easily done in the middle of that little arc after Superman died.
100%.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, I thought it was stupid for them to rush that Superman died, but if he died, then okay, fine. At least use that time in that space to say, okay, look, now we're gonna bring in John Henry Irons.
Yep.
Who he's not Superman, he's Steel, but he was like trying to step up when Superman, fell.
Right.
So,
he wears an S on his chest. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. So for you to, especially after seeing how people went wild for Black Panther, how people went wild for Iron Man, you mean to sit here and tell me we have a black Iron Man who has the cape and has the S on his chest, and you're gonna bypass that story? Like, really? And he's a genius intellect, so he's not just all brawn. He's got a genius mind. He's an engineer.
There are Black blonde people,
and he's a family man on top of that too. So you're gonna bypass all of that just to say, okay, well, just in the third movie, all right, just bring back Clark. Like, no, that's stupid. Like, give us some more expansion on that universe so we can actually see
exactly Henry Cavill and blackface. We're asking for the same things, Randy. That's what we're asking for.
And no slander to Ray Fisher, but like I would be 10 times as excited with the idea of a Steel solo movie as I am or would be with the idea of a Cyborg solo movie.
No, yeah, but you're being too nice. I say all of the slander because I don't give a freak about Cyborg as much as I care about
the slander.
Yes, all of it. I will take my slander and borrow anybody else's slander in the slander collection plate. I say all of the slander because Steel has been there in
Carlos would say, I'm sorry, Randy, but Carlos would say in this moment, actually, I'm looking forward to it. I like the fact that they have some creative license and that they're gonna go ahead and they're gonna try something different. I'm optimistic and I'm ready to see exactly what I want to see, which is a Black Superman.
But what I will say is okay. Cyborg,
that's what Kylos would say.
Cyborg is not necessarily an uninteresting character. I like the character. I am a fan of the character, and I like the DCEU movies. But John Henry Irons is somebody who kind of he was with the league honestly before Cyborg ever was. Mm-hmm. And he has a longer track record of like having his own solo kind of standing. They only recently brought in Cyborg to be like, hey, look, we want you to be part of the Justice League. Like that was maybe 2011? And John Henry Irons was with the Justice League back in 1990 something.
Yeah. So, and here's the other thing. Like, he fills a role that, we've talked about this before. The DC has a problem with not having certain kind of roles filled. Like, he is a scientist slash technologist.
Right.
DC doesn't really have a Tony Stark.
Right.
And John Henry Irons could fill that role of the Tony Stark.
Yeah. And I mean, on top of that, you have the additional good of Natasha Irons, who Marvel is putting out Ironheart. I mean, you could have beat him to the punch, but that it's just I mean, there's Steel, and then of course, if you want to look into the alternate universe aspect, that's like totally jointed from the DCEU. You have Val-Zod, you have Calvin Ellis, I believe his name is.
Yes.
But
this brings me back to what I was, when I was being pro Black Superman. We have no reason to suspect that the quote unquote Black Superman from an alternate universe isn't Calvin Ellis.
Right.
And blackface.
That would be problematic to say the least. But as it would be, I think that they could tell the Calvin Ellis story, and it would be really interesting. And I think that Ta-Nehisi Coates in particular could tell the Calvin Ellis story, whether he does it as a
No
Sorry.
offense, but I really would want to see what the white guy here has to say. Gordy, take it away.
Well, Gordy happened to draft white Superman, so I'm sure he's staked in the idea of a different race.
and white Jonathan Kent.
And crypto.
You know what? I thought they announced. I thought part of the leak or whatever was that it was going to be Clark Kent,
Right.
Kal-El.
Right, but from a different universe. This isn't the mainstream. This isn't the mainstream DC universe. So it could be a standalone project a la Joker, or it could be an alternate universe trilogy for
It might be
a la the Batman.
Part of
that's what I was gonna say. It might be the Robin Pattinson.
Part of a different imprint, like say Black Label.
Black Label.
That's a drink.
But I mean, regardless, I think that it is possible to tell an interesting story with a Black Superman. I do understand that they still have a Superman-sized hole in their universe if they're not bringing back Henry Cavill. But even still, I think that there's a way to make an entertaining Superman based around questions of Blackness. And if they didn't have Ta-Nehisi Coates writing it, if we had like our standard white people who write these superhero movies writing it, I would have a lot more of an issue with it.
Yeah.
They seem to be seeking a Black director. Again, hopefully they do cast Regé-Jean Page to play hot Superman. I think it could work. I think it's possible that it could work.
That's a great idea.
I genuinely hope, like, I like Henry Cavill, and I hope that he will return as Superman. But if not, I hope that they're not gonna be like, hey, it's Black Clark Kent, because I mean, Val-Zod, like I say, John Henry Irons, Steel, and Calvin Ellis.
Look, I'm about to piss some people off right now. I'm gonna do it. I've been dying to do it for a long time. Fuck
Please
Val-Zod.
tell me that your Superman is only white. Oh
no. Look, Val-Zod, that's a cool idea, but like nobody gives a fuck about Val-Zod.
Well, no. But in my kind of defense of Val-Zod, I say that only because they could use it as a platform to build on him. If I really wanted to go for an alternate universe Superman who is not Steel, I would absolutely go for Calvin Ellis, because he is not just Superman, he is also president. So I would love to see them elaborate on that.
I want him to be Titanium, and then they use the song.
But the thing is,
you know what?
Val-Zod is himself an alternate universe Superman. So you're still in that world where you're not even dealing with the alternate universe first Superman. You're dealing with an alternate universe legacy Superman.
No, yeah. I get that. So, I mean, again, I'm not like, Val-Zod is not my first go-to. Like, and on top of that, like you said, he became Superman after the first Superman died. Like, basically Miles Morales of that Superman universe.
And he didn't even stick the way Miles Morales stuck. You know? Like, when's the last time Val-Zod appeared in a comic?
Well, that's DC's fault. that is entirely DC's fault, and it's like it just kind of factors more into this burning, simmering outrage of like how DC just sucks with characters that have melanin, and without going too far off into the weeds there. The idea of having Calvin Ellis is much more appealing if they're not going for John Henry Irons.
Yes. So
Val-Zod is not, he's a consideration, but he shouldn't be the first consideration, and the very dead last consideration should be a Black Clark Kent.
Right. Well, no, but that's here's the funny thing though, Randy. The funny thing is that in my head, like, Calvin Ellis is Black Superman, you know what I mean? Like, Calvin Ellis is Kal-El, but Black.
Yeah.
As far as we know, as far as our understanding of his character arc, is that he's just part of a Black universe. Right. So he's Superman in a Black universe. He went through He went through a lot of the same things that regular Superman went through.
Right.
He just happened to become the president of the United States, a la
Right.
Barack Obama.
And that was the crucial point of divergence for me. That's like really the thing that kind of like put it over the top for me is the fact that he became president, because you want to explore kind of who it, like, I guess not really necessarily getting too deep into it, but kind of giving a reflection of the kind of guy that is, his personality would be different, I guess, being in the role of president as opposed to being like the kind of meek and mild journalist who nobody knows he's Superman. Like,
right. But what I would say is that we don't know, like, because the comics, as far as I understand, has never filled that in. We don't know the arc that he took to get to that part, to get to that role. Obviously, he had to have a period in time where he wasn't the president, where he was just, in my mind, you know how in the comics right now, everyone knows Superman's secret identity. Like, to me, you could go all the way up to that point in the Kal-El / Clark Kent story, where it finally gets revealed who Superman is. And he outs himself and he says, all right, fine, I'm Superman now. And then he goes another 5 to 10 years and he decides if the world has accepted him and they say, you know what, the role, especially, for all we know, Lex Luthor was president in that world and he ran against Lex Luthor, and it was basically Calvin Ellis, Kal-El against Lex Luthor. And they had a whole like presidential campaign with a superhero versus supervillain.
It's a fascinating kind of idea for me, just because we already get the idea, like, okay, the idea of a black Superman, like, it's very cute and very nice to talk about in the comics, but in real life, the world would not handle a black Superman. A black bulletproof Negro that can fly and shoot lasers at, like, no, that would go vastly differently.
Hangnail.
And so it would be interesting just to see those different aspects. Like, I guess, would he be publicly known as Superman prior to becoming president, or would he wait until he becomes president and reveal that? Like, just, I want to know the inner details of that. I want to see that. It's just, to me, really, if anybody, I would definitely want to see that.
Right. And that's the thing. That's
Can we
all I
see
was
the
trying
next
to say.
subject? Oh.
All I was trying to say is that there is room for a good story to be told. And those, if you consider yourself a black nerd or blurred, as it were, and you have an issue, please hit me up so that we could explain, so I could explain to you why you're wrong.
So I can drag you for filth thoroughly across the internet.
Yes. But Kia is giving us the signal that says she'd like us to move on, and I respect Kia's.
Or
I
she
respect
just
Kia's
wants to
wishes.
move toward getting some Funyuns, something to eat, maybe, perhaps.
What are Funyuns? Like,
well, that does conclude our news aspect, Kia. Are you ready to dive into racial draft business?
Can somebody tell me what Funyuns are first? Is that like the new password?
Okay, so that will be the conclusion of our news. Okay, so Funyuns, Funyuns are a type of chip that, like, emulates onion rings.
It's a potato chip in onion ring form.
Yes,
Sort of.
Yeah, they're not.
Sort of.
They don't taste like a potato chip. They're like onion rings. If they were,
so they're onions.
They were fun.
They're fun onions. That's what you're trying to say.
Yes, they're fun onions.
But are they really made of onions?
Hence the name. Hence the name.
They just taste like onions.
Because
that'd be a little weird if they made a potato that tasted like an onion when they the onion and then called them fun.
I want to say it's the same process by which potato chips are created, except they did it with an onion.
Can you look up the ingredients?
The circle.
Check the chat, Kia. Check the chat, Kia.
So that concludes the news now.
That concludes the news.
Thank you.
racial draft business. We're in the final week of the racial draft, supplemental draft. What were your thoughts about the supplemental draft overall, Randy?
I have only 3 words to say: chaos, glorious chaos.
Yeah. Gordy, what were your thoughts about the supplemental draft?
Listen, I thought it was fun when we decided for the last round plus maybe a couple extra picks of people who complain a lot that that all the gloves were off, all bets were off. Let's just do whatever and make up some fun. So I enjoyed it. I enjoyed making sure that a certain blue person would not be painted blue and would be a giant flesh-colored man with a huge penis.
I mean, there's no guarantee that his penis sustains with the racial drafting. There's no.
I mean, did you see the Zack Snyder movie? It wasn't all that.
I know. Fair
I mean,
play.
yeah, but at one point he was like 75 feet tall. So just by transitive properties,
no, that's proportionality, Gordy. You're a 75-foot man. That doesn't mean that you have a 75-foot long, you know.
Listen. If you're slapping down a 6-foot dong, I don't care what it looks like compared to the rest of you. You could be 90 feet, and that thing is still going to be scary.
Okay.
So if he can perceive time and space non-linearly, he has discovered the utility of trying to pursue having such a large extra part and piece on there like that. So,
well, I mean, we'll get to it, but maybe he's a grower and not a shower.
Guys.
All right.
Oh my God.
We're diving into the first pick of the supplemental.
Hold on. I have to tell you something. It's about to blow your mind before you go to the first pick.
Okay.
Are you ready? It's about Funyuns. You guys are about to learn something. Funyuns are made of corn.
No.
The only onion in there is the powder, but everything else is corn.
Wow.
What? Mind blown.
The fakery. We have been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray.
Listen, I would like to retract my supplemental draft pick, and I would like to draft Funyuns on behalf of Onions. Okay, this is malarkey. This is all the stuff that Joe Biden says when he gets angry. What it all is.
Crazy.
So the first pick in the supplemental draft is from the South Asian delegation, and
what countries are South Asian?
It includes
name them all.
It includes India. It includes
I just
Pakistan.
Feel like
it includes Bangladesh.
Are you looking at a map right now? If you're cheating,
I wish I were, but I'm going off the top of my head, which is why I only went 3 deep, and I know that there are more. However, they drafted, and I thought this was a pretty good draft pick for them, staying somewhat within the realm before things went completely off the rails. Lilandra Naramani of the Shi'ar Empire. She is the Empress of the Shi'ar. She was formerly I'm reading for the wiki right now, so wiki. Former Empress of the Shi'ar Imperium, former romantic partner of Charles Xavier. She was in fact killed, but they find a way to bring her back. But Lilandra Naramani was drafted by the South Asian delegation, and I think that means that the Shi'ar are now brown.
I mean, if nothing else, it means that a black man finally gets to hook up with a Sri Lankan woman in the draft. Bam.
Ooh, yes. I forgot about that. I forgot that we have Black Charles Xavier, and I could see it. I can see Black Charles Xavier and South Asian.
I can see it too. So thank you for that.
Nice. The people, though.
I feel like White Magneto is angry at all of
that. Well, I'm going to go ahead and find out what the people thought about South Asian Lilandra. Wait for it, everyone. Wait for
I'm
it.
still upset about Fagnan, Joe.
I mean, I feel you, yo. I feel you. That I was not expecting that. You blew all of our minds.
The cake is a lie.
And even more than Kia's mind is already probably blown right now.
So yes, the people came through with. Oh, sorry. There was also a fan cast, guys, and I'm gonna go ahead and share with y'all the fan cast. Aishwarya Rai Bachchan.
Wait, say that one more time. I couldn't hear you.
Aishwarya Rai Bachchan.
I still came with the
the
joke.
Indian actress. I will go ahead and share her picture in our chat. If you're listening along,
Close your eyes and try to spell her name.
I won't be doing that. But she is a former most beautiful woman in the world, and I can see why.
Why, she's a former?
Oh, there's nothing formal about it. She is lovely.
Yeah,
was
Mike, you're like, what kind of monster are you?
I mean, she won the 1994 Miss World pageant. You know,
What is that? So that means she's old? Is that what you're trying to allude to, Mike? That's so
I'm
messed
just
up.
saying that to the extent that was a crown that was given to her, it wasn't given to her this year. It was given to her, in the past.
Oh, wait. How
That
many
was
years ago,
then,
Mike?
now. Oh, Michael said that was then, this is now.
Listen, far be it from me to say she is not beautiful now. I was just being factual about the fact that in the 90s she won Miss World. She is still a lovely woman. If she was not currently married, I would definitely holler at her. But
good cover up,
Aishwarya
Mike.
Rai Bachchan.
Good
Fan
cover up.
casting
Mike,
for
Mike, if you get the chance, don't worry about her being married, bro. Give it a shot.
Shoot your shot.
I mean, come on now.
Well, the people have a take. The people gave the draft a 91.7% approval rating, including 75% strongly approve, 91.7, 16.7% somewhat approve, 0% somewhat disapprove, and 8.3% racist. Before, we have also been joined by, from the Latinx delegation, Carlos. Carlos, what were your thoughts about this pick? About Empress Lalandra Naramani from the Shi'ar by the South Asian delegation.
Yeah, I don't know who that is, but I'm down with the casting as long as I see that person on TV.
You must know who she is. X-Men 92, you watch that show. Everybody knows who Lalandra is.
In 92, I watched that show.
Oh my God.
Wow.
There's another mic on the screen.
Wow.
So you're gonna tell me I'm the only person that was alive in the 90s that had a crush on cartoon Lalandra? Okay.
I too had a crush on cartoon
so far as
Lalandra.
to say a crush.
That's his emphasis on form.
I am all about getting ink all over myself, if you know what I mean.
Honestly, when it comes to the 92 X-Men series, and actually X-Men in general, I tend to check out with aliens and time travel. Like for me, it's like too many hats on hats. Honestly, yeah, like I'm always down until Bishop shows up, and then I'm like, what are we doing? Time travel? What are we doing?
That feels anti-black.
Look, Bishop is the only way that we got black people in the X-Men world.
We had Storm.
Black men. Sorry,
black
time
men,
travel.
Yeah.
He had to time travel his way into. Well, he's also a cop. Never mind.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure how I'm not supposed to take that personally. Now, you just specifically got an issue with Bishop out of everybody.
Well, no, because I'm thinking like in the cartoon, once they brought in was it Nimrod and Bishop? I was like, I don't know what we're doing anymore. I was following something. There were senators and they were very racist against mutants, and now there's time travel. And even when they went to the Savage Lands, remember I'm like 9 years old. I'm like, what?
I feel you.
Dinosaur people? What's happening here?
I'm going to say, I'm going to throw a little shade at Randy because Bishop was not drafted by the black delegation, so you must not care that much about
Oh.
Bishop. Mhm.
Back in the day, I always thought that they should
Facts.
have Bishop in the movies, and that he it's so this is so stupid to say, but that he should be played by oh dude, what's the name of the Barry White? Barry White was always my fan cast for Bishop because he looks exactly damn like him, just with the tattoo on his
Listen,
face.
have you seen current Bishop though? Whoever they found as their referent for current
Bless
Bishop,
God.
that is
Yeah.
a very attractive man that I'm very upset at the fact that they decided that that's the route that they want to go for.
I am a
Modern
whole
Bishop.
other kind of upset. Oh yeah.
Oh, tell us about it, Randy.
Randy, I'm with you because Carlos could have said when Cable showed up, but he definitely chose not to.
Ooh.
Honestly, I don't remember Cable showing up in the '92 series.
Oh no, he
so-
definitely did though.
Was
But,
it after Bishop? Because
it
I
was
might have
probably-
already been.
It was
checked
probably
out.
after Bishop.
There
though.
you go.
I was like so disgusted. Like when Bishop showed up, he was checked out. It just
There are no black people in the future.
Yes, that's where the whole storyline broke down. He's a black man and he's a cop in the future. What kind of whack future is this?
This is not a future I can subscribe to.
This is the future liberals are dreaming of.
Right. This is the future liberals want. What they didn't show is that everybody in the future is black, and
I just kept watching that '92 series, being like, "Can we please get Beast out of prison? Please get Beast out of prison." And then it's like, "Or we could show you black future cops." I was like, "I just want Beast out of prison. Can I just get Beast?" In the real
all right,
world?
let's move on to the next pick in the supplemental draft from the
Yeah, 'cause
Jewish
we don't want to hear
delegation.
about. We don't want to hear about Carlos fast forwarding all the Michael Jordan parts in Pro Stars so we can watch that good old Wayne Gretzky Johnson.
The Jewish delegation finally. I'm gonna cop.
Jiggity, jiggity, Jew.
Nice. So this wasn't an auto draft per se, but as you know, if you follow the Adam from the Jewish delegation, he was very adamant that Moon Knight in all incarnations should be staunchly Jewish. And I thought to myself, well, why hasn't the Jewish delegation drafted Mark Spector, aka Moon Knight? They did in the first season.
I could think of one reason why.
So
That wasn't me.
Mark Spector has now officially in the second season in a row has been has joined as part of the Jewish delegation. And there was a fan cast, guys. The fan cast is Adrian Brody.
Nice.
Nicely done.
Nicely done. So
I can give you a little inside information that if they did not draft Mark Spector, he was coming home. He was coming home.
I was coming home.
I had not had a chance to take a shot across the bow with the Jewish delegation. I've taken my shots at a few of the other delegations. That was gonna be the pick. It was there.
Yeah,
Wait,
It
don't
was
you
there.
have
So was he
Magneto?
gonna be mayonnaise night? Was he gonna
we definitely did not need white Mark Spector to be in the hood. Sorry.
I mean, didn't you already draft Magneto?
You
How
have
was that
Magneto.
not how was that not a shot across the bow of the Jewish delegation?
It wasn't
You
enough.
erased
wasn't
his
enough.
Jewishness from
I didn't even do that.
You said he was false
I think-
flagging as a Jew.
Listen, it wasn't
he
enough.
falsified his Holocaust status for clout.
I think Gordy has won best story.
Listen. I'm just saying. I felt like some shots needed to be taken, and I had to respond to some of the funness. So and admittedly, he scored so few points. I forgot about Magneto.
Uh-huh.
Well, Adam, if you're listening, you dodged a bullet. Moon Knight, I'm going to go ahead and read from the wiki. Struggling with multiple personalities and amoral inclinations, Mark Spector fights on against all odds as the cloaked Avenger, Moon Knight. And yeah, I mean, listen, he's one of the top tier Jewish superheroes. So let's find out what the people thought about this pick. The people gave it.
I know one of them was One of them was definitely disapproved.
90% approval rating, folks, including 70%. 70% strongly approve, 20% somewhat approve, 0% somewhat disapprove, and 10%, which apparently is Gordy, anti-Semitic.
That was a good one.
Gordy said that, okay, not only are Jews not going to replace us, we are going to replace them.
You're right.
Oh man. Well, that brings us to Gordy, the white delegation, who selected Jonathan Osterman, who I believe in the comics is in fact Jewish.
Yep.
Oh no.
He is.
Jonathan
Yes, he
Osterman, Dr. Manhattan, he of the big blue dong, is now a white man.
Yep.
The fan cast was Michael Huisman. Is that how his name's pronounced?
I believe so, yeah. Carlos, I bet you would know better than I do.
I think it's Michelle, isn't it? Is it
Okay.
Michael?
It might be
it's
Michelle. It's probably
yeah.
Michelle. Michelle Huisman, who you might know as the second Dario from Game of Thrones, the one who got cuckolded, I believe.
He was also great on. He was
Wasn't
also
that
great
your
on
favorite
Treme.
part, Mike?
Never mind, that probably is more fitting.
So yeah, Gordy, give us your insight on White Dr. Manhattan.
Sure. So since the chains were off and we were freed of any
Wait. You can't talk about the chains being off as the white man. Like, as the white delegation, you can't talk about chains being released. You got to talk about a different metaphor.
He's like, when everybody else was free.
Occasionally, I like to give y'all one. I'm just setting you up here.
Since we were emancipated.
Since my people were freed from this ideological warfare. No, since we decided fuck it all, I just said, you know what? The most powerful character, I think, in comics, or at least in the upper echelon, without drafting like a concept, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna just take the most powerful one that I can, and he'll have a giant white penis that landed on a bunch of Vietnamese people.
Yeah.
Damn.
And the thing is, listen, this was kind of a stealth pick because, last year with the, if anyone watched the Watchmen HBO show, there was a very strong racial draft for the black delegation to bring him into the fold by Yahya Mateen. I'm forgetting one of his names. Thank you.
I always say Yahya Mateen Cleaves because I watch basketball.
I was about to say the exact same thing, and I was like, that's not correct. But yes, Yahya was the Black Dr. Manhattan, Dr. Blackhattan, and but Gordy went ahead and brought him home.
And they colonized them again, and he used them to say the ultimate Blue Lives Matter. I am.
Oh wow!
Nice. Gordy, do you have any more thoughts about the power of the white peen?
Listen,
I've got a lot to say.
I'm just saying, Dr. Manhattan was also in for my draft pick here. He was also behind the terrible New 52. So that sounds like making everything dark and edgy and sort of stupid. Sounds right in line with what my people would do. So
and Zack Snyder did make the Watchmen movie, so yeah, released the Manhattan cut. But I'm gonna go ahead and read from the wiki right now. Dr. John Osterman was a lowly lab technician before he was caught in a radioactive particle test. He returned as a godlike superhuman. He is powerful and highly intelligent, yet he grew to become emotionally distant towards people. He's the only superhero with powers in the Watchmen storyline. So there you have it, Dr. Manhattan. But what did the people think? Approval rating from the people, 57.2%.
That high, huh?
It's like the second highest I've had.
14.3% strongly approve, 42.9% somewhat approve, 14.3% somewhat disapprove, and 28.6% strongly disapprove. pretty favorable as far as the white delegation goes.
I mean, listen, we're great. When it comes to my approval points or the white delegation's approval points, we are definitely grading on a scale. So this is like this is upper end.
That brings us to the next pick, the Native American delegation. Shout out to Joaquin and Native American delegation. They drafted. You might know him from the television, or you might know him from the movies. James Bucky Barnes, aka the Winter Soldier, is now Native American. And there's a fan casting, guys. Martin Sensmeyer.
Oh yeah.
Familiar with this actor, Martin Sensmeyer?
I got very familiar when I found out who he was casted.
I will go ahead and share that in the chat, Kia, so that you can enjoy Martin Sensmeyer, the new Native American Winter Soldier.
Oh, yeah. You can wake up next to that. He looks a little short. Is he short?
We here at the Racial Draft do not discuss people's heights.
Wow.
So
I'm just
That's
saying.
where we draw the line.
That's it. Bridge
Gotta
too
make sure
far.
not to be offensive. Gotta make sure not to be offensive.
I'm still getting over Mike making Dr. Fate a Klansman, and yet heights are the problem. I don't.
No, he is the Grand Wizard. Thank you very much of the DC universe.
He puts on his hood of justice. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Did this guy play in the Magnificent Seven?
I believe so. Yes.
Oh wow! I don't have a speech for it. Oh, and Red Harvest. Anybody know what that is? Carlos?
Does that happen once a month as well?
Wow.
Yes, well, yes, it does.
I'm gonna go ahead and read from the wiki.
Under the Red Moon.
Believed dead near the end of World War II, only to have been found and brainwashed by the Soviets for the next 50 years, Captain America's former sidekick now continues to defend his country from the shadows against those who would threaten it as a legendary spy and assassin, the Winter Soldier. He became the new Captain America to honor his friend Steve, and he joined the Avengers. When Steve returned as captain, Bucky took on the identity of the Winter Soldier once again. You might also remember
Captain
that
America. I'm around till second. Haha.
He also kicked it to Sam Wilson's sister in Falcon and Winter Soldier. But yes, now he's Native American, and he's a pretty good-looking Native American. So
yes,
I think the people approve. But let's find out. Let's find out whether the people approve.
You're gonna tell me 1940s white America was gonna accept a Southeast Asian Captain America and a Native American Bucky Barnes?
I mean, a Japanese person signed up for the super soldier serum in order to fight against the Axis powers, and then they got a Native American to be part of the whole
the Wind Talker
dog and pony show. Yes, I think that is entirely possible that in the 1940s, the propaganda machine would have touted the Japanese and Native American.
I mean,
Americana.
I could see them potentially getting like anytime we see like movies or TV shows or whatever cast certain ethnicities, like trying to find like the most white passingist looking version of those people. Like, yes, we want to look for a black woman, but a black woman who is like the lightest possible shade that is also achievable by a white person with a tan.
So tinted.
Right. Off white.
I'm just saying that in that time frame, showing, people of color who would have been like so down for America that they would be willing to don the red, white, and blue and go around the world and say buy war bonds. And
I know a few
country,
people.
I think that there's a
particular one.
There's a certain amount of room for that, and I think that maybe down the line as they reemerge in the present day, it would create a little bit more depth.
Or I'll run right back.
But the people 80% approval rating, including 46.7% strongly approve, 33.3% somewhat approve, 6.7% somewhat disapprove, and 13.3%
Have no taste in men.
racist. Yeah, no taste in men. I should have put up more shirtless pics of Martin Sensmeyer. Maybe we would have gotten more approval. That brings us to Carlos, Latinx delegation. Why don't you tell us about your pick?
Remember who I picked? No, it's so we drafted Aaron Davis, the Prowler, Miles Morales' uncle, the kind of tainted version of Uncle Ben for Peter Parker, and we drafted Kid Cudi because dude's part Mexican, so he counts.
Well, underrated part of Aaron Davis, we remember he's the one who stole the spider who eventually bit Miles.
That's right. That is correct. The comic books, like the Uncle Ben, great power, great responsibility, is like the dying words of Peter Parker's uncle. The dying words of Miles Morales' uncle is like, "You're just like me." It's like, damn. I read that book. I was like, this is dark. Like, so Miles is on this whole other, like, wait, am I a bad person? Like, maybe I am, and I don't even realize it. It's a really fun house mirror version of Peter Parker's origin.
Yeah. And it's extra weird because, obviously in our universe, Miles Morales is white. So
it's perfect because if you have an Italian Miles, what is his Miles Maloney?
No, he's still Morales. He's still Morales.
Okay. So
Morales.
Miles Morales, Italian white kid, and he has a black uncle. I'm sorry, he wants to be just like the black uncle. Like,
yes, he does.
He does he does everything like his black Uncle Aaron.
That's
his
right.
Black Mexican Uncle Aaron.
Yes. So Gordy, as the possessor of the rights to Miles Morales, how do you feel about Aaron Davis, Uncle Aaron, for your white Miles?
Listen, I appreciate the move by the Latinx delegation because it is much in the vein of me. I believe that Mr. Freitas here was just dunking on a multiracial delegation by casting a multiracial person as their Latinx Miles Morales. So I appreciate the boss move. I have nothing wrong with it. I know enough Italians to know that would have worked because he would have loved that uncle. So yeah.
Right.
And you also understand why his dad doesn't get along with him.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you get along with Uncle Aaron? Maybe it's because he's black, son. Thought about that? My dad's not black, but you know who was black? The mailman was black.
Yeah, I can feel that.
And hey, look, if he could have applied for a Latin American scholarship to college, you Latino.
He totally would have.
You Latino.
He was always trying to get Uncle Aaron to teach him some Spanish so that he could like kick it to the Spanish girls at his school.
That's it.
How do I say mommy like you, Uncle Aaron? How do I say that?
He definitely tried to like style his hair. Like, I'm Puerto Rican, of course I am.
Telling people he's Sicilian.
Mm-hmm. That's right. I'm going to read from the wiki real quick, though. Aaron Davis is the uncle of Miles Morales and originally served as the ultimate prowler. After dying in an accident during a fight with his nephew, Aaron was resurrected years later after Secret Wars. He later assumed the identity of the Iron Spider and formed a new Sinister Six. Unfortunately, recently under the Saladin, what's his first name? Sorry, the Saladin Ahmed run of Spider-Man recently was, let's say, presumed dead. Dead.
He did.
But we also loved him in Into the Spider-Verse, where
Mahershala Ali
voiced by Mahershala Ali.
Killed it.
Yeah, he definitely did, and that man is now Latino. Key, what do you think of What do you think of Kid Cudi in the fan cast as Aaron Davis?
No, just absolutely not.
Whoa, excuse me.
Strong. I'm with you. I'm with you, Kia. No, thank you.
I'm not mad at it because he still looks black. So I'm fine.
He does.
I mean,
Well, here's what the people decided. The people gave it a 72.7% approval rating, which is kind of low
That's
for
so
the
high.
72.7.
kind of lowish. It's
Dude,
not
I'm
bad.
sorry. Kid Cudi's name is Scott Ramon Seguro Mescudi. Like, bro, come on, man.
You should have put that. You should have put that down as the name of the.
That's our fan. That's our fan cast.
You shouldn't have said Kid Cudi. You should have said.
We didn't draft Kid Cudi. We drafted Scott Ramon Seguro Mescudi.
Well, 54.5% strongly approve, 18.2% somewhat approve, and 27.3% strongly disapprove, which is, of course,
That's fine.
racist.
That's fine, because if in the MCU before Childish Gambino, if it was just Kid Cudi showing up, people would be like, that is an inspired casting. That's amazing.
Yeah, I agree.
Listen, that 23% is more than just me. So there are some people out there. There are some people out there who, like me, looked at this and went, "Kid Cudi is what? He's not black," and found that out. I believe Carlos made that pick about 4 days ago. Because I am 4 days. I am 4 days of having that knowledge in my head, because I honestly had never knew that.
And if you guys recall, when we had the all poll round, the last round, all polls all the time, I said that I wanted Deadpool in that poll, and that if he was selected, I would think about Kid Cudi.
Interesting. So. Wow. Deadpool, where did he end up again?
I have Deadpool. I don't know that I use Kid Cudi.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that brings us to the Polynesian delegation, who, they kicked it back. They kept it safe. They did a defensive pick, one of the rare Polynesian characters actually in comics. They drafted.
The only?
They have those?
They drafted Kiwi Black. And they had a fan cast of Maori actor Te Kohei Tehukaka. I'm going to go ahead and share.
Say that one more time.
It's pronounced Scott Rubenstein.
Te Kohei Tehukaka. Tuhaka. Tuhaka.
That's a heck of a syllable to mess up on.
Kaka on the brain.
I'm gonna go ahead and share. I'm gonna go ahead and share the link in our chat so you guys can look at it at how he looks.
I want people to remember when I get called the jerk for saying things, and Mike's over here calling people caca and stuff.
So Kiwi Black. I'm going to read from the wiki real quick. Kiwi Black is of Maori descent and also the son of Azazel and the Nephilim, the Nephim, and half brother of Nightcrawler and Abyss. He was one of many mutants fathered by Azazel with the aim of freeing him and the rest of the Nephim. After surviving a ritual that was meant to free the Nephim, Kiwi Black fought against his father alongside the X-Men and was depowered at M-Day. But yeah, one of the only Maori character in the Marvel Universe. And he was, for as far as approval rating goes, wait for it, the people gave it 95.7. Wait, that's not right. Yes, 95.7% approval rating, including 87% strongly approve, 8.7% somewhat approve, 0% somewhat disapprove, and I gotta say, guys, 4.3% racist, strongly disapprove. How do you disapprove of a Maori character being drafted by the Polynesian delegation, guys? Thumbs down.
Let's just run on hate.
I'm happy that he got his one Maori character after like so many rounds of like snatching up Negroes. Finally, he got back around.
Oh no, he didn't.
I mean, facts.
Sometimes there are phrases said on this podcast that I go, man, I couldn't say that. No way.
You know what that's called? Growth, Gordy.
Well, that brings us to right on time, the Black delegation. Gotta say, I was surprised by this pick because there were so many Black characters still on the board. But at least in
don't say surprise, Mike.
Yeah, I know. He's over here. What?
Be honest, Mike. You were mad. You were mad at this pick. You did not want this pick. You were angry. We all know it.
I was surprised, as I said. But given the discussion that we had earlier on the show, I'm not mad at it. The Black delegation drafted John Henry Irons.
You don't even want to make it the pick.
John Henry Irons, aka Steele.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a fan cast. Henry Simmons. Kier, are you familiar with Henry Simmons? I feel like you should be.
What did he play it?
Treat yourself to some Google. Go get familiar.
No, I'll go ahead and share. I'll go ahead and share that link with you.
I think you will agree with my choice.
Henry Simmons looks like Keegan Michael Key said Shazam.
I believe I suggested that fan casting, Randy. Just so you know.
I mean, yeah, but
he's like the bad version of this other actor that looks a lot like him.
Yep, and I know who you're thinking of too.
Boris Cujo?
Yeah, Boris. Yeah,
he's the better acting version of Boris Cujo. Yes,
but he's not as good looking.
Oh,
he looks like a worse version of Boris. Like Boris is like good looking. It's like this is like his brother that didn't get any genes.
I hereby resign from the racial draft. I will not take this. I will not take this.
The Henry Simmons slander. We here at the racial draft do not approve of Henry Simmons slander.
You see it. I know you see it.
So here's the thing, Key. I shared that link
Henry
with you.
Simmons looks like Boris Cujo's stunt double. Come on now.
Well, here's the thing. I shared their specific link here, the one from Spartacus. How bad would you feel to be this guy who's standing right next to Henry Simmons with his shirt off?
I know I'm looking at the exact same image. I know it.
Yeah,
I'd be like, no. I'd be the guy like 3 rows back. Yes. You might also know him from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., where he played Mac.
That is exactly where I know him from.
Yes. He was also on NYPD Blue. I forgot about that. Kia? No, nothing.
Why are we still waiting for Kia's commentary? Clearly, she's
well, it's just that, like, I mean, at the end of the day, yes, I feel bad for that guy, but I don't like. You guys see it, right? Boris is like little brother.
So, are you saying, Kia, is it your official position here that if someone who looked like Henry Simmons sent you a text and was like, "Hey, what are you doing tonight?" You're gonna just curve him? Is that what you're...
I'm gonna curve the shit out of him, especially if he's smiling like that. Like, ugh, come on.
I was gonna say, there is a picture of that man that's easily found on the internet that shows he should not smile. He should always be looking
and that's what I'm looking at. It's like,
yeah,
it's like he's wincing really hard.
he should definitely keep to that smoldering look. But I
thought people on this show had taste. I'm out of here. Goodbye.
Look, I would trade 3 of my 3 wishes to wake up tomorrow and look like Henry Simmons. So I don't know what you guys are talking about. So
wow.
All I know.
Wow, yeah. I was like, wow.
Wow, yeah, do better. And iron.
You could have wished to look like Boris Cujo.
I'm just saying if that was the only option open.
Mike, I'm much uglier than you are, and I think I would have used the wishes on some other stuff.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and read from the wiki right now before all of my choices get judged by the rest of the panel. Inspired by Superman, John Henry Irons mimicked his powers with technology. However, his greatest powers are his heart, mind, and determination.
And he
vomited in my mouth
like none other.
What did you say, Randy?
And he slings a hammer like none other.
Oh, well, that's what she said.
Inspired by Superman, he became Iron Man.
He's the man of steel, of literal steel. 84.6% approval rating, all 84.6 strongly approved, 0% somewhat approved, 0% somewhat disapproved, and 15.4%
have no doggone taste.
Oh, they're smart.
racist.
Yeah.
They somehow thought to themselves,
They're not racist. They just don't like the pick.
I don't know about that. That wasn't the question that was asked. They didn't ask what the pick. They didn't ask if they approved of the pick. They asked if they approved of the black John Henry Irons. Who's
not with that fan cast. They're like,
but they were like, here's the thing. They didn't say would have preferred Boris Cujo. That's not what they said when they voted.
They're too busy being disgusted. I was silent for a while while looking at his picture.
Henry Simmons, if you'd like to come on the show and apologize or have Kia apologize to you.
Forget that. Tell everybody what her Twitter handle is. So y'all could direct y'all hate mail at her. That's what I want for right now. I'm mad.
Have you guys ever seen the movie Game Night?
I have not. No.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. The Denzel Washington scene of Game Night. That's what's happening right now. It's like, yeah, no, it was Boris Cujo. No, that wasn't Boris Cujo, baby.
Well,
it's good.
I'm gonna go ahead and be honest about this. Is my least favorite pick of the round, the multiracial delegation. Kia, you of course.
You're just trying to lash out.
Former head of the multiracial delegation. We will find out your thoughts about this pick.
All right,
with a character named Jericho Drum.
I love that name.
Jericho Drum,
but I do not know him.
Formerly Brother Voodoo, formerly Dr. Voodoo.
Wait, why did you say that first? Of course I knew that.
Mm-hmm. So yes, the multiracial delegation selected Jericho Drum, Dr. Voodoo, with a fan cast of Dawn Richard. Dawn Richard
first season, didn't somebody actually draft him in the real season?
I don't believe so. I think there was talk.
Wasn't that like the Jewish? I thought it was like the Jewish delegation or something.
No, I think they just talked about drafting him, but they did not.
Oh, okay.
But was Dawn Richard in a group of some sort?
Danity Kane.
Danity Kane.
We in the car. We in the club.
Wait, is that real?
Yes, Danity Kane from Making the Band. Diddy's band. Danity Kane.
I will not remain on any podcast that besmirches the name of Diddy. Okay.
Wow.
Everything in Making the Band was awesome.
I like the first season of Making the Band when it was the band and Dylon, of course.
Dylon.
That's the line that Gordy draws at being offensive. I see.
But Key, I went ahead and shared the fan casting. So shout out to Shep. Shep went androgynous here.
I do like the fan casting.
Didn't go androgynous.
That person at least has style.
You do not want to let this go, do you? You really are bothered by this pick too. Look at Mike. The seams are showing, Mike. The seams are showing.
As per the rules of the racial draft, as opposed to the gender draft, which is a totally different podcast, a totally different alternate universe, there was no rule that said that just because your fan casting is female, that means that your character's female. That's just, Jericho Drum is Jericho Drum. as played by Dawn Richard. Dawn Richard, I think, would be a lovely fan casting. Yes, but the background is Creole and Haitian for Jericho Drum. I'll go ahead and read from the wiki. Wiki. Born in Haiti, Jericho Drum left for America to become a doctor. One day, he received words that his brother was dying because of a voodoo curse. He got revenge by learning voodoo from Papa Jumbo. He was also made the Sorcerer Supreme, and became Dr. Voodoo. In related news, Dr. Voodoo has a long-standing romance with the Scarlet Witch.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, it's not really like long-standing. It's only a couple of years old, but yes.
I mean, I was going to say something really sexual, but I'm just going to let it go. Sometimes standing, sometimes long, but
you let that go. Maybe a little too long.
They are also together in the Strange Academy. Strange Academy. But Dr. Voodoo, multiracial. Kia, what are your thoughts?
I know you don't like it, Mike, but I like it.
Okay, there we go. The people, though. 58.4%, 58.3%. This is rounding involved, guys. Rounding involved. 41.7% strongly approve, 16.7% somewhat approve, 0% somewhat disapprove, and 41.7% disapprove.
Wow. So pretty much Gordy and one other person voted.
I knew that wasn't me. I knew it pissed Mike off, so I was like, "Yep, approve."
I mean, it's giving misogynoir. I don't like that. It's a good cast. It's a good cast.
Look, they could have just went ahead. They could have just went ahead and drafted a female character if they wanted to draft a female character. That's all I'm saying.
They should have drafted Kid Cudi. and then just stared at me across Twitter.
Next season we will be playing with gender in the white delegation just because I know it pisses Mike off.
I will be sure to close that loophole in the rules in season 3 of the racial draft, so that while you may choose whatever fan cast you want, the gender of the character does not change. So shout out to the Ancient One.
I just picture next year, like next season, Gordy just drafting and going with like the whitest like VH1 singers for all the roles. Like Superman, I'm drafting Jason Mraz to be Superman.
No.
Kobe Calais, Storm.
I'm hoping for Kylie Minogue as Batman.
So that brings us to the final pick of the round and the final pick of the season, guys.
Oh my gosh.
And if you're not a current Batman reader, then this is totally lost on you. But if you are a current Batman reader, I think you think this pick is awesome. The East Southeast Asian delegation selected Ghostmaker.
Yes.
I'm okay.
See? That was better than the black delegation's pick.
Ghostmaker's pretty dope.
Of course.
Ghostmaker. I'm gonna go ahead and read from the wiki, guys.
Wiki.
Nice. That was like the saddest. That was the saddest wiki, but I respect it. Ghostmaker is a vigilante who trained with several of Batman's mentors around the world. A rival of the Dark Knight since his youth, he is a radical crime fighter who will not hesitate to kill if deemed necessary, and sees crime fighting as an art rather than a duty. Also, what was not mentioned, and I'm going to go ahead and fill that part in. There is a Ghostmaker series in the works at the CW.
Wait, what?
CW.
What was that announced?
Bat privilege, Randy.
See, now I'm mad because see, I usually I'm the one with the tea. I'm like the one who kind of comes in with like the knowledge bomb and is all connected into Twitter and stuff, and I give you the news. And now you're like giving me this thing that I didn't know before. I'm
Sorry,
mad.
Courtney.
Yes.
Sorry, Courtney Kardashian. You
Yes.
lose.
Oh, did I also mention that Ghostmaker is bisexual?
I was aware of that. Just
Yes. I mean,
but who I mean, what all details are tied to that? What happened?
Wait,
No.
he's only 2 times a day?
nice, Kia, nice.
Thank you. Thank you.
But yes, I provided a fan cast. You might know him from the most recent Mortal Kombat movie. You might also know him from The Raid. Joe Taslim is the fan cast for Ghostmaker.
Listen,
Nice.
Ghostmaker got more points than Batman in the last issue. I'll tell you that much.
That's right.
God damn it.
Ghostmaker.
Batman did not come from the rear.
Not as far as we know, anyway.
I have no idea what you guys have talked about in the last before I got on here, but Batman did fuck all in his issue. Jesus Christ.
So
He was on a magic carpet ride through Gotham.
I mean, he might not. I mean, we'll get to it, but I don't know if he's going to be eligible for the MVP award.
he might fall very, very short.
But
That's what she said.
He deserves it. God damn. I'm so pissed at Bruce Wayne right now.
But yes, Ghostmaker, like, I gotta be honest, based on a lot of the aspects of how he was portrayed in the early stories, I sort of thought he was Asian. But they haven't really shown his face. So he's a little ethnically ambiguous right now, but you know, the Southeast Asian delegation went ahead and drafted him as Asian, and I'm here for it.
But I'm genuinely curious about this show that's in the works. Like, have they like I mean, what details are kind of attached to it? Have they just like announced it and just kind of left it?
Well, here's the thing: it has not been announced. It's you know, rumored. Sorry, I should have said that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it makes a lot of sense.
It makes a lot of sense.
I mean, yeah, it kind of goes back to my feeling about how they're kind of picking characters who are fairly recent and don't really have a whole lot of history, you know, to bog them down.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And he's the
And
type
also-
of person that could be in a backdoor pilot.
Exactly.
Backdoor.
You're so easy to set up, Kia, sometimes. Speaking of backdoor pilots, but yeah, I mean, he could show up in Batwoman very easily in like one episode.
Or
and then-
Painkiller.
I mean,
or Titans.
Yeah, I was just about to say Titans until Carlos said that.
Yep.
I was going to say
felt
something
it.
about like Painkiller and backdoor pilots, but you know, whatever.
You know
But
what's
yeah.
funny? It's like Ghostmaker
They're gonna be well
kind of
needed.
looks like Moon Knight.
Kinda, yeah.
But like a more awesome version of Moon Knight.
Like like if Moon Knight was a cyborg ninja, but like it is like the white like cape and the, you know, like the iconography there is going to be fairly similar.
Mm-hmm.
A white flowing cape in the night and the streets.
Yeah, he's got like 2 like laser katanas, like, yeah.
And I think he also has like a flying kind of craft. I've only like seen him, you know, kind of here and there, but I think he also has some kind of aircraft he flies into.
Yeah, and he has an AI. He's like if Batman were Iron Man.
He's like Batman and a Jedi and Leonardo the Ninja Turtle and Moon Knight.
And Snake Eyes.
Yeah, exactly.
All of it.
Taskmaster. So it's gonna be
And apparently he legitimately fucks.
Right, everyone.
often.
He's even part Deadpool.
Yeah, he's like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna like, I know I fucked you guys into oblivion, but I'm gonna go fight some crime real quick, you know. Like I gotta find this one panel.
Actually a thing that happened in the comic.
Yeah, I gotta find this one panel where he was basically like,
He's walking around like blindfolded, right? Like
Right. And he literally is like just getting out of bed. He's like, yeah, I probably will never see y'all guys again. Goodbye.
Yeah. Here's the one panel. Here's what it says. Like he's about to fight Batman. And he says, do you want to know what I've done today? I've only been in Gotham about 12 hours. I thought I'd ease into it, but there was so much work to do. I leaked the criminal activities of 14 different district judges to the Gotham Gazette. Your inept police are already taking them into custody. I solved a string of homicides those same police hadn't linked together. The killer was clever enough not to try a gimmick or put on a cute costume. That man is already en route to your Arkham. I also sent the FBI the location of 6 incoming shipments of heavy artillery from Santa Prisca. And that was before I left my plane, Bruce.
Wow.
I like him already.
He's a beast.
He is a beast. He's got a solo series coming. He's got a television show coming. And yeah, that's the casual flex on the East Southeast Asian
Anybody
delegation.
that can drag Batman like that is up on my list. I like him already.
Yeah, he's basically like, the funny thing is that like he started out as a Batman villain, quote unquote, but like he fought Batman to a standstill, and then he was just like, he's like, all right, whatever, we're on the same side now. And like now all he does is like sit on the sidelines as Batman struggles. He's like, you really shouldn't be struggling like this.
Looking strong, Bruce.
This is like bull. Exactly. He's like, wow, you really fell off, man.
I just posted a link to a panel that is just like, oh, that's just Moon Knight. It's Moon Knight yelling at Batman.
Yep, there it is.
Oh yeah, that's Moon Knight.
That's just Moon Knight.
Oh.
Well, so there you have it. Let us know what your favorite pick of the supplemental draft was, or this round of the supplemental draft. But now is a good time as any to talk about next week, where we will officially announce the winner of the Fantasy Comics League scoring period. But we will also announce season award winners. And I'm going to go ahead and run through some of the categories that we will hopefully discuss today and create some nominees for. The most valuable pick, guys. That's basically our MVP award. It's only right.
Woo-woo.
It's only right that we have to officially put Batman into the fold as a potential MVP, because let's face it, there's a strong possibility that the next delegation wins the championship, and if they do, it'll be on the backs of Bruce Wayne.
How about Spider-Man? Should we put Spider-Man on there?
I think we should. Spider-Man might end up as the scoring champion.
Incredible.
And
Wolverine.
Amazing, actually. Amazing, not incredible.
Spectacular.
Amazing, spectacular,
Yeah.
sensational,
Non-stop.
But
Stop.
now as for possibilities, I would say we should probably think about Wonder Woman. She will probably end up being the top scorer of the multiracial delegation.
But what about Wolverine?
I thought her Wolverine, yeah.
Yeah, I figure one of them has to go. And aren't there weeks where, there's probably weeks for both of them where neither one of them scores?
Well, what I would say is right now, obviously we have not received any scoring for the last week. Right now, 85 points were scored by Wonder Woman and 49 points were scored by Wolverine.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Wow. And I was about to put her second.
That's not even close.
Damn.
Yeah. So
Wolverine is still just slightly more points than Null.
Yeah. However, I feel like, I hate to say this, because the white delegation are the heels of the competition, but
Can we say the butt?
Superman.
I'm sorry. Please don't refer to me as the butt, because I am flatter than a board when it comes to the back of that. I turn sideways and
I don't know if you know this. I don't know if you guys know this, but as of right now, Superman has just as many points as Batman.
What?
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Superman who?
Wow.
And I got stuck with Superman during I don't have any powers time. Very annoying. Had he not been going through that storyline, somebody would be crip walking into the finals right now, or the championship.
I mean, I wouldn't go that far.
Please don't crip walk.
The-
You also
I
had
mean,
a TV show.
I mean,
That's
Krypton walk. I feel like it's
Krypton.
You know?
Oh my god.
So yeah, I mean, we might find ourselves in a world where
Wow.
Superman outscores Batman.
We were talking
Oh
so
my
much
gosh.
about Batman being so like DC being so Batman heavy, and he's going to be outscored by two other people.
See, that
Ooh.
is the future that liberals want.
So
The future,
does
but
anyone,
not the present, Randy.
The immigrant alien journalist beats the billionaire. I'm here for it.
does anyone want to propose another? I mean, we can only have 4 nominees, and
Only
those
4?
are 4. Yeah, only 4 because for polling purposes. But so would
What?
anyone
You
want to
don't want
propose a
Are 5
possible
better than 1 or 4?
additional nominee, more valuable
Batman,
than
see,
Batman,
Wonder Woman,
Spider-Man,
Peter
Wonder Woman, or
Parker.
Superman?
Just for the record, those were the 4 people we put in our poll in the first round.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it
I
was.
mean,
We
yeah,
called that shit.
basically.
All right, so there we have it. Those are our 4 nominees for the MVP. Next up, the best
Wait,
sleeper pick.
what was the 4th?
I'm just saying that
Wait, hold on a second. Just I'm gonna remind Kia: Batman, Spider-Man, Wonder Woman, and Superman.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Carry
I'm
on.
just saying anything that has the white delegation attached.
That's how I feel about you too, Gordy.
Anything that has my team attached to it is going to lose.
That's not. Maybe not. So sleeper picks, guys. What are you thinking?
Colossus.
I mean, that is
How
too
about
much.
Venom?
Ooh, Venom.
We should define what a sleeper pick is. Like what round you need to
Why
pick
does
to
he say that after
sleeper.
I said something?
Because honestly, because I think Carnage and Venom should both be up for it unless they were both taken. I don't know what rounds. If they were like the 4th
What
round, that's
happened?
not a sleeper.
I
So
think I broke
Carnage
up
was
for a second
selected
there. Sorry, guys.
later than Venom. Carnage was selected later than Venom. Venom was selected in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the 6th round.
Okay.
See,
And Carnage
that's
was
sleeper.
selected. And Carnage was selected in the 8th round.
Yeah.
That's
I think
extra,
Carnage
that
is a
was like-
sleeper, not Venom.
Mm.
The 8th round.
I mean, Venom did outscore
Yes.
Carnage slightly.
Mhm.
But Carnage was in the 8th round. I'm gonna see who else was drafted
Yeah,
in the 8th round
amen.
just to balance it out. On the 8th round, we also had Silk,
pick.
Jane Foster Valkyrie,
Jane
Yeah.
Foster Valkyrie.
So I said Carnage.
Professor X,
That's her ex.
Mm-hmm.
Wiccan,
Ooh.
Blade.
Wait,
said-
is Blade white? No.
No, Blade is Latino. Blade is Latino.
Okay.
Magneto.
That's right. Not Magneto.
Joe Malayan, the Green Lantern,
Mm-hmm.
and Black Cat. And of those 8th round picks, I think, you know what? Of those 8th round picks, I think it was Carnage that's the highest scorer.
Should be.
Hmm. Well, yeah, because the yeah.
Were there not like 3 Carnage, Red, White, and Blacks or whatever?
I think
Yep.
so.
I mean, Carnage.
Each one with 4 stories.
Wait, Jane Foster
what-
has
what he
actually
just said is a
outscored
clip.
Carnage.
Jane Foster. Okay.
Jane Foster actually outscored Carnage.
Okay. So that's a sleeper pick.
That is, yeah, we might want to. That I mean, we
Glad
completely
we could
slept
find
on.
it, Carlos.
We completely slept on her. So yeah, I'm gonna have to throw Valkyrie in there. I'm gonna have to throw Carnage in there.
Mm-hmm.
However,
Puck. What about Puck?
Yeah.
Every once in a while, Puck just shows up like, and Puck had 9 points. You're like, what?
I mean, I think it's worth considering that. Let me make sure I'm right here.
That gamma comic didn't start yet, did it?
It has not.
Lighter.
So yeah. So She-Hulk was drafted a round later than Valkyrie, and she put up 33 points.
Damn.
Hey, what did Psylocke put up?
Psylocke put up
9.
20 points.
Okay.
Wow.
But she was also drafted in the 9th round.
Yeah. How about
That's right.
Elektra?
Did
Elektra put up 10 points in the 11th round.
Elektra's put up 10 points.
Only 10.
did we bring up my Jonathan Kent yet? As I had to step out for a moment.
We did not, but Jonathan Kent was drafted in the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th round.
Okay.
And he did put up 79 points. 79 points in the 7th round. That's you know what?
Wow.
That's
big.
You know what? I gotta put that in. Superboy. 79.
Yeah.
Put up more than 79 points in the later part of the
Superboy / Superman.
Yeah, I was gonna say don't make him younger. Brian Michael Bendis didn't want to play with a child. He had to age that kid up real quick.
Yeah, phrasing on that one. Brian Michael Bendis didn't want to play with a child. But you know what? Superboy's got to go in the fold. So right now we have Valkyrie, Carnage, and Superboy.
Mm-hmm.
Who would you say now? So here's some candidates. In the 12th round, Cable put up 19 points.
Okay.
In the 11th round, Lex Luthor put up 21 points.
Ooh.
In the all right. Hulkling in the 11th round put up 19 points. In the what round is this? Sorry. 12th, 11th, 10th round, Kate Bishop put up 21 points. Namor put up 20 points. In the,
I like Namor because I believe that is a delegation that isn't represented in this.
Yeah, but it's also a competition.
It's not a competition. We're giving out awards at the end after the competition's over. I'm Generation Participation Trophy.
Oh, and I'm Generation. There's only one winner.
here's one that we have to give some props to because this person might end up, based on this week's book, Man Thing. He already has 20 points based on 16 points in week 9.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And he had, I think, 2 books come out this week.
Mm-hmm.
Late bloomer.
Yeah.
Man Thing.
Literally late bloomer.
Got it.
Nice. So what do you guys think?
I move for Man Thing.
I mean, that's fair.
40 moves for Man Thing.
Why is he laughing so hard when he says Man Thing?
What do you think, Man Thing or She-Hulk?
Man Thing.
She-Hulk might want the Man Thing.
I mean,
Man Thing it is.
But based on what he actually looks like in the comic.
All right. Next up. Best backstory, guys.
Oh, that's easy. Krakoa.
That's easy. Anybody on the white delegation?
Deathlock. The concept of Deathlock.
I reject outright the concept of Deathlock. Let's see who had backstories. Let's go down the list.
Say like the single digit number of backstories we got.
I mean, listen, we gotta put the Kingpin into the fold.
Oh yeah,
thank you. I like Tomati's Thor backstory.
Ooh,
All right,
you know what? The
or
Thor
don't
backstory.
put anything from Tamati in here.
She's like the best backstory out of everybody. So
I
like,
know that would be the funny joke.
I
No,
swear
no,
to
we got to
God.
put multiple Tamati backstories in so they end up competing against each other.
Best Tamati.
Well, there are other people, good writers here, like Gordy.
but see, we gotta have a poll specifically for like everybody who is not Tamati, and then have a specific one for Tamati backstory.
Can I just say that if Gordy
I
would
feel
have
like
ever
that's
written his Luke
favorism.
Cage backstory, it would have been the best one, but he never wrote it.
That is unfortunate.
I
That is
heard
really-
the drafts and it was incredible, but he never wrote it.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
goodness.
Yeah, which disqualifies him.
There's another season coming up, guys. Don't you worry about
Are you
it.
gonna draft him again?
So I mean, I guess we will. I mean, are you sure, Randy, of your backstories? You mean you had Krakoa? Did you have a Dick Grayson backstory or no?
I did not. I should have.
You had an Emma Frost backstory though.
I mean,
Yes, you did.
I had one for Krakoa. I had one for Professor X. I had one for Emma Frost, and I forgot if I did any others, but I doubt it.
Yeah, I
Emma
don't
Frost
think you
was a
did.
good one.
Yeah.
I think Krakoa is
I-
a really good backstory.
I will
mean,
let
I
y'all
vote-
decide.
I also vote Krakoa.
Oh, all right. So Krakoa it is.
Wow. I felt
Uh,
like that was a tie, and then
Finally, let my child win something.
you didn't get to pick.
There were no points in the comment.
I mean, listen, the Latinx delegation put in several backstories, so I'm gonna go down the list. There was, of course, Batman.
Were there any good ones?
There was
Wow.
Batman.
Oh, wait, Carlos is here. My bad.
Wow.
No, but I mean, there was Batman, there was the Kingpin, there was Harley Quinn, I think.
Catwoman.
Was there a
Yeah,
null
there's a lot.
backstory?
There was definitely a null
Oh,
backstory.
there was
It-
an awesome null backstory.
It involved Aztec mythology. Yes,
yeah,
that was a good null
yeah,
backstory.
you know what? Yeah, Null was in the 6th round, so not quite sleeper territory.
Yeah, I didn't
I think
nominate
the
him as a
Batman
sleeper.
one.
But I mean, nobody's gonna vote for Batman. Come on, let's be honest.
It was a trick. I was just trying.
You know, if people are gonna randomly vote for Batman as MVP just because they come across a poll and they're like, "Oh shit, Batman's in it. I gotta vote for them." I
Just
don't know what
gonna
this is
write
about,
him
but I
in.
gotta vote for Batman.
Just gonna write him in as their pick.
Can we think of any other backstories?
There were not a ton.
I enjoyed the Iron Man one. I thought
I mean,
that was great.
very quietly, I kind of like the Miles Morales backstory, the Italian Miles. But
I mean, I'm biased because I wrote a bunch, but like I
Right.
like Psylocke's backstory. I like, Kingpin's backstory. I like
I mean, the fact that you brought up Psylocke never having like crossed paths with Elektra, I would be okay to second that choice.
I still think that Null though, like the Aztec mythology, that's
that's a good one.
that
Right.
was a really good one.
That was really
I
good.
mean,
I think what we're
even
saying
when-
is the Latinx delegation had the 4 best backstories.
So
Oh gosh.
I mean, here's the question. These are the 4. Let me know if you guys like a backstory more than these 4. Kingpin, Thor, Krakoa, and Null.
What about
I'm not mad at
Carnage?
it.
Did Carnage,
Did Carnage
get a
have a
backstory?
backstory?
Carnage and Venom.
I'll tell you,
Oh, they-
Carnage had a backstory if he was drafted by Latinx. We had it all planned out.
All right. The best fan cast.
The best fan cast.
Still. um,
Jericho Drum.
I
Priyanka
mean,
Chopra as Black Cat.
right, that too, exactly.
That was our Sri Lankan women episode.
And what about the I would say Professor X. I don't care what anybody says. Professor X. Or Megan Thee Stallion as Emma Frost.
Did you ever fan cast Krakoa?
I did not.
Did not.
It wasn't
fan
Morgan
cast
Freeman as
Krakoa.
Krakoa. That's messed up.
Let's see.
Like
Let's go down
I
the
just
list.
like Google all the black actors right now and just spontaneously come up with.
I mean, you guys, listen. You did get, as via the trade, you did get John Boyega as Red Hood, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Is that a
I was-
candidate, guys?
I mean, I think so. Come on, throw the black people a bone. I mean, come on, somebody.
We also, again, Fat Joe is Kingpin.
Fat Joe is Kingpin.
Fat
That
Joe is
an-
Kingpin, and Danny Trejo is Null. These are good.
Look, you guys
Okay.
had a lot of good fan casts. You also had Axel Alonso, not Axel Alonso. Why am I forgetting
Laz
his name?
Alonso.
Laz
Alonso
Alonso.
is Blade,
Thank you.
yeah.
Laz Alonso is Blade. Thank you.
Horizon Guardiola as America Chavez now.
Yeah. Who was your
I was
Catwoman?
partial.
Who was your Catwoman fan cast?
I believe it was Eva Mendes.
Boo.
Is that right?
I
You
don't
just
remember.
boo.
I did.
I'm going
It
to
wasn't
go.
as inspired as the other picks.
I
I'm gonna
mean,
go-
I fan cast Queen.
Yeah, it was
Latifah
Eva
as the
Mendes.
question,
It
so
was
that's not half bad.
No, it's not bad.
That's not.
Queen Latifah
I
as
was-
the question. Come on now.
I was real partial to Constance Wu as Lois
Nice,
Lane,
yes.
and,
Constance Wu, Lois Lane.
Supplemental
and I will personally say Gwyneth Paltrow as Alexandra DeWitt because
What's in the box? What's in the box?
What's in the box?
Hey, Mike, do you remember any fan casts from the Polynesian team?
Oh no!
We
Don't say
are-
their names.
I only feel it's fair.
Caca, caca this and caca that.
Oh man.
It would be like Ralph Johnston. Where are you coming up with this?
I'll vamp for Mike while he's trying to look up some pronunciations. Who did the Jewish team cast Zac Efron as? Because I remember that being good, but I don't remember what character it was.
Is his name Ulysses? I can't remember the guy's name. Give me a second. Sorry.
Who was Zac Efron cast?
Did you
I
see
didn't
Zac
think-
Efron's new face?
No, did he get
Ulysses
busted?
Solomon Archer was the character.
Zac Efron, I think, used Botox or something
He
because
got some
there's a-
kind of treatment,
the
and
treatment in
I'm-
his face looks weird, right?
Yeah,
I
I'm
mean,
not. Why?
no
you
offense,
think that?
Zach.
But
Yeah, I mean,
why?
my eyes closed, I could do it, but I'm just saying that, like, whatever you
I
do to your
mean,
face,
that was
not good.
That was an unfortunate choice. Like,
I mean-
even if you wanted to have plastic surgery, like of the facial changes you could have made, those were
Yeah.
not. Yeah, why?
I mean, Evan Rachel Wood as Jocasta was pretty cool.
Okay, well,
Only
What
be,
about- what
because of
about
the
my fan
meta.
cast? What about my new blacker fan cast for Jim Gordon?
I mean, I don't know if that's better than what's his name, Jeffrey Wright. I don't know if that's better than Jeffrey Wright.
Oh my god! I'm looking at Zac Efron right now. Oh my god!
I told you.
exactly.
What did he do?
I don't know.
Got beat in the face. I'm
Now
not-
only I can love you, Zac Efron.
Oh my god! He looks like David Hasselhoff.
I got to shout out. Oh, why am I drawing a blank on this actor's name? Oh, give me a second, guys.
Because you saw Zac Efron's face.
Yeah, that is exactly why. Sorry, Naveen Andrews
Oh, yeah.
as Pete Wisdom.
Oh yeah, I remember him. What about the guy that we saw drafted for the Silver Surfer?
Oh, Polynesian delegation.
I remember being rather fond of that choice.
Hold on a second.
Wow.
That's taking it back.
I remember that.
If we're gonna If we're gonna throw this back, Randy, shouldn't it be?
No, I don't think we. I don't think we got
a.
I don't think we got a fan cast for the Silver Surfer.
No,
actually.
we didn't get a fan cast, and then we looked one up and we found one ourselves.
Yeah, so it wasn't official.
Somebody. Oh,
Right,
dang,
it wasn't
that doesn't
official.
count.
We
They
were
can't
just,
win an award if they didn't officially make it.
That's right.
Sad. You hate to see it.
Yeah, I hate
Man.
to see it.
So where are we at? We've got Gwyneth Paltrow as the fridge girl.
Are we? So we are doing supplemental picks.
Yeah, we are including supplemental picks as well.
Okay.
I don't care whether or not we include supplemental picks. We just agree as a racial draft team to not bring up Gwyneth Paltrow anymore, please.
But Gwyneth Paltrow was
Wait,
a fringe
what's wrong with
girlfriend.
Goop?
Pretty great.
Like whoever wins, it's not Gwyneth Paltrow. I consider that a victory.
Listen,
I'm gonna vote for her.
I casted her to be murdered and stuffed in a fridge off screen. That's about the best I can do with Gwyneth Paltrow's acting ability.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Adria Arjona as Quanon.
We're like secretly opening up a casting agency here. We're just gonna.
Call us, Marvel. We've got Google.
What if I just like throw in my sleeper pick of Yahya Abdul-Mateen for Lion-O? How about that for that Thundercats draft?
I mean, the Thundercats casting is not part of the season, so.
Oh, bro, I don't like that.
Can I say that you're supposed to pronounce the H in Yahya?
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
I heard him say it, and I was like, "Oh, I didn't know that." Everyone just says Yahya.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right, guys. So right now we only have Fat Joe Kingpin and Constance Wu, Lois Lane. We got to decide on the other two.
Boy, am I hungry. I'm going to go into this here fridge and get me something to eat during this podcast.
Oh, there's some goop in this fridge.
Oh man, I got a coughing laugh. That's funny.
The smell of vagina is just repeatedly wafting through the air right now.
It's right past the dozen jade vagina eggs. Oh man, that's so good.
Okay, so
I'm putting Boyega in the mix, guys.
Yeah.
Boyega, Red Hood. So we're down to the final nominee for the best fan cast.
I still say either Megan Thee Stallion as Emma Frost or Colin Salmon as Professor X. That's not that I'm particularly biased. I'm just saying.
I mean, I would say in this category, there should probably be a one nominee per delegation. We've got to give some of the other delegations a little love besides the ones that are represented here.
If the greatness is there, then I think we should acknowledge it. Just saying.
Also,
I'm gonna make a
poll with that many options.
I'm gonna make a late push for the. I'm gonna make a late push for Native American delegation Maggie Sawyer, with Tinsel Corey.
Oh.
Do you guys need a Google for your?
No, I remember. It works with Maggie Sawyer really well.
But alternately, yes, I would say the Black Cat choice was not half bad. Just saying.
It was.
Oh, Black Cat for Priyanka Chopra.
Yeah.
I'm with that one. I think that's a great last.
You know what though? Wait, they didn't make that draft. We did.
That's right.
We did.
That is correct.
Because I was like, wait, what about Priyanka Chopra?
That is correct.
And then we just thought about Priyanka Chopra for like an hour.
As we will be doing now.
Right.
Exactly. I'm Googling her immediately.
I mean, I would be remiss if I didn't mention Melissa McCarthy as Amanda Waller.
As Amanda Waller?
Okay, fine. I'm okay with that. I will actually support
hilarious.
that choice.
Wow. All right.
That's so funny.
Does anyone else third that?
Randy was real excited to get Gwyneth Paltrow out. As we all are when she goes into the fridge. Oh,
All right. All right, I'm gonna make one more. I'm gonna throw one more out, and this is the Oscar nominee, Yoon Yo Jung from the
for Aunt May.
Yeah, for Aunt May.
No.
No. All right. Well, there we go. So what did we decide, guys? We decided on.
Didn't you write it down?
No, I didn't write it down because once I write it down, it's official.
Joe for Kingpin and Danny Trejo for Null. Arizona.
See? Oh man.
See, this is why we write things down.
No, I'm talking about the one final. Like, is it Melissa McCarthy for Amanda Waller? Is this what we?
Yes, it's Melissa McCarthy.
I like that.
All
It's
right.
it's so funny. Gwyneth Paltrow is very funny.
Honorable mention. Gwyneth Paltrow.
Can we at least call it the Gwyneth Paltrow Memorial Award?
She gets the in memoriam.
I think that's only fair.
All right, here's another controversial one. This is super controversial. Best new draftee.
What does this
Yeah, I had
mean?
no idea what that meant.
What does that mean?
That means a character that hadn't been drafted in season 1.
Okay.
Oh,
I wasn't sure if you were
Oh,
like, are you
you're
asking
so
us
funny.
to vote on like delegates? I wasn't sure.
That's exactly what he wanted. He just didn't want to tell you guys.
I was like, I
was
guess I
like,
vote for
I'm gonna
me.
win that. I thought I was gonna win that one in a walk. In a walk.
No. We still like the South. We still like the South Asian delegation more than you. Sorry.
Wow.
So let me run down some characters that were not drafted as part of season 1, but put up some decent points.
I'm gonna throw my Superboy out there once again, Jonathan Kent.
I think Superboy was drafted in season 1, was he not?
I think he was. I think.
Yeah.
Oh.
He wasn't.
I'm not sure.
I mean,
I'm going to refer back to my spreadsheet from season 1. Give me a second, guys. Vamp.
or couldn't you just go to
Control
like
F.
I don't know, Instagram?
Control F, Jonathan. Let's see what happens.
How many Jonathans can there be?
I mean, did dang, I forgot who it was.
I'm pretty sure Krakoa was not drafted in the first season.
Yeah, no.
Krakoa was definitely not
But
drafted.
the Crow was.
The Crow.
The Crow, but not the Krakoa.
Krakoa scored approximately 5 points more than the Crow.
That's so good.
Give me a second, guys. It took me a lot longer to find it because I stopped bookmarking season 1.
Oh.
I can't say no would probably be a good one because he scored decently.
Yeah, he scored 41 points.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that he wasn't drafted last season because I don't think he mattered to anyone except for this small window that we had.
Nailed it.
Yeah, Superboy was drafted by the white delegation in season 1.
What about the Black Knight?
He's a legacy.
What about Carnage or Venom?
Carnage and Venom. I think they were. No, Venom was not drafted.
Venom wasn't.
Venom was notoriously not drafted in season 1. Yes.
Say Carnage was definitely drafted by the Native American delegation.
Yes, but Venom was
but
not.
they didn't do Venom.
We talked a lot about how Venom was not drafted, so Venom has to go in there.
Yeah, Venom goes in.
Yeah.
And you guys thought I wasn't paying attention.
What about the Black Knight?
The Black Knight was not drafted. How did the Black Knight end up doing, though?
No idea.
I'm looking at it right now. The Black Knight put up a total of 21 points.
To be fair, my team hasn't exactly been like shooting free throws anyway. So
we should probably talk about Conan.
Yeah. That was a good.
Conan put up 36 points.
Ooh.
That was solid. What else? Jessica Drew, Spider-Woman, was she drafted in the first? I think she was. She was drafted in the 12th round. Yes, she was.
Yeah, I think it was by the Jewish delegation.
Yeah, I think so.
believe so.
Did anyone draft Goku? Wait, he went in the first season. That's right. Puck,
Puck was definitely not drafted in the first time.
Cloak, and/or Dagger.
Oh yeah.
Neither of them showed up first time around.
Cloak put up some points.
Yeah.
Cloak put up 15 points for Cloak.
He came in hot.
Echo. Was Echo drafted in the first season?
Echo was drafted in the
Echo
first
was an
season.
auto draft. It doesn't count.
Doesn't.
Yeah.
What about
auto
what about
drafts
America
don't count.
Chavez?
America Chavez was drafted by the Polynesian delegation in the first season.
What about Danny Moonstar?
Danny Moonstar was not drafted in the first season.
Wasn't she also auto drafted? Like,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. Never mind.
Yeah, she was.
I won't even look at the Native American picks this season.
the
Wow.
concept of Death
He
Rock.
picked Venom and Carnage.
No, he didn't. You did. Let's be
Oh
real.
my God, yes he did. And I just talked to him about it. I might have guided him.
How about a couple of the sleepers? A couple of the sleepers we talked about, Hulkling
Yeah,
and
Hulkling.
Man-Thing.
Man-Thing was not
I
drafted.
was about to say Swamp
Man-Thing
Thing.
was not drafted in the so I guess I'll put Man-Thing in there.
This is hard without knowing like what
having
what
them
players
in front of you.
and like who scored. Like,
Right.
you know, I don't know if
No,
anyone
I
drafted
mean,
Monica Rambeau last
Monica
season.
Rambeau was in fact drafted last season by the Jewish
Okay.
delegation.
What about Riri?
Riri was not drafted by any delegation last season, but did Riri put up points?
That's exactly. I don't. There's too much information I'm missing here.
No, I feel you. That's why I've got it in front of me.
So now you just have to take your word for it.
Maybe Cable.
I mean,
No, Cable was definitely drafted last season.
Native American delegation drafted Cable.
What about
No, it was the multiracial
No, it's
delegation.
Was it?
multiracial
Oh,
delegation.
okay.
That was me. That was me.
Oh,
I
okay.
did
Sorry, I forgot which team you were drafting for that season. My bad.
Wow.
Somebody's really
That was
salty
some
about Venom and
shade.
Carnage.
Shade.
It's not my fault. I only guide people to winners.
No, we got to put Null in there. 41 points.
Well, that was after like Venom was done. You said, "Oh, now I'm guessing I'm gonna do Null." Like,
Oh yeah.
This is Null's probably only opportunity to win.
Yes. Until the next null event.
Like one and done. Grand opening, grand closing for Null.
But it was grand.
What about
Definitely.
Namor?
Namor was a first round draft pick in season 1.
Wow.
yeah.
That was one of the more.
Clearly, I don't know the history.
That was one of the more.
that sounds about white.
That was a rough pick.
That was a rough pick. There were a couple of rough picks in those first few rounds.
So right now we have Venom, Man-Thing, Null, and I gotta say, Conan might be in there.
What about Shang-Chi?
I thought he did get drafted. I don't know.
I
don't remember him being drafted.
I don't think Shang-Chi got drafted.
No, Shang-Chi did not get drafted.
No, yes, he was. You're right.
Was he?
He was.
Really? Okay.
What?
Yeah, he scored 0 points. It was sad.
Oh.
But the Asian delegation, they did their thing in season 1. They drafted characters that they wanted, and
they got him again in the season 2.
Mm-hmm.
What about Mephisto?
Mephisto was
He was drafted this season.
Mephisto was drafted this season, but we talk a lot. Like if we got points for people proposing them to show up in Marvel shows, then there would be a lot more points scored by Mephisto.
If you draft the concept of scrolls next year, you can pretty much just say all of them are.
That actually will score points. I can say.
Can you imagine using your last draft pick on the concept of scrolls and then cashing in all those points when Secret Invasion comes?
Exactly.
Right.
All right. What else? What do we?
I don't know if Silk was drafted last season.
It definitely was by the East Southeast Asian delegation.
Okay.
Well, I thought they were just the Asian delegation.
Yeah. I mean, I was trying to respect the continuity of it all, but yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's all I got then.
Did Lex Luthor get drafted last season?
Yes,
Yeah.
by the Southeast Asian delegation.
Mhm.
That when they were part of their Crazy Rich Asians gimmick, where almost everyone on their team was a billionaire. Real quick, let's run down the picks that the Asian delegation drafted last year. Batman, Iron Man, Professor X, Emma Frost, Ms. Marvel, Lex Luthor, Shang-Chi, Nightwing, Johnny Storm, Winter Soldier, Silk, and the Juggernaut, and also Betsy Braddock.
The Juggernaut was a good one.
Yes, it was.
Not a lot of points for that because I think the book came out later than when our season dropped.
Who you
yeah.
arrest, Gordy?
About Kingpin.
Bad boys.
Was Kingpin not drafted in season one?
I don't think so.
I am not sure.
I'm pretty sure that.
I think you're right. I think there was no Kingpin.
Yeah, because I came into like this season being like, I want to draft Krakoa and I want to draft Kingpin because they have not been explored yet.
Yeah. I mean, I got no problem with Kingpin. What do you guys think?
I don't know if Kingpin scored points. I think it's probably less than 10.
13.
Oh, never mind. More than 10 bites.
Yeah, I mean, definitely on the low end. Definitely on the low end of your delegation, but you know.
That's why you draft him in the 11th round. Randy.
I will never not relish how bitter you are over.
I mean, listen, Black Adam put up 15 points in the last round.
Yeah.
And I don't think Black Adam was drafted.
You were not.
Black Adam wasn't drafted in the first season.
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
No.
Quentin Quire put up 15 points.
Quentin Quire had like 1 week where he put up 9. So like, yeah. I keep my eye out on the multiple delegation.
I vote Quentin Quire.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I vote Kid Omega.
Oh wow, just bypassing the brown guy, I guess. Okay.
All right, let me take a better look at this. I think the Black Knight maybe though.
Yes, if the Black Knight was not drafted in the first
season. Not drafted in the first season for sure. 21 points for the Black Knight.
He was definitely a later round pick, right? Like 8th or 9th or something like that.
I don't think so. He was like top 5 pick.
No, he was in the later rounds. Yeah, round 10. No, 9. Yeah, round 9, like you said.
You're right. My bad.
You know who's a very disappointing, who would have been considered for the best new draftee, but let us all down?
Yara Floor. Yes. Sitting on my supplemental squad right now.
Yara, if we had a pick for the biggest bust.
Colossus scored more points than Yara Floor, right?
Yes.
Colossus scored 1 point.
Yara Floor scored 0.
No, Yara Floor scored 1 point.
Oh, okay.
But was drafted in the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In the 6th round was Yara Floor.
Wow.
And Colossus was the 5th?
Colossus was the 6th as well.
Oh, that was a shitty round.
Oh, no. Sorry, the 5th round. No, Colossus was also the 5th round. But 2 points.
Yeah.
Colossus scored 2 points. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Colossus scored twice as many points as Yara Floor.
Sorry, guys. The correct answer for biggest bust is Supergirl, who was drafted in the 2nd round.
Ooh.
What did
also,
Supergirl put up? Because
of the fact that it was the turnaround, it was the first pick of the 2nd round.
Yeah. How many points did Supergirl
before Superman?
Right.
Oh yeah, that's so true.
Superman was the 3rd pick of that round.
Yeah, Supergirl was the first pick of the 2nd round, which put up 4 points.
And who was the 2nd?
Captain Marvel.
And that's including bonus points.
Wow.
For a television show that is on every week.
Wow.
Both of those people who went right before Superman, they need to be on that.
That's insane.
But here's the thing: at least Carol Danvers put up 44 points.
Yeah, Carol Danvers put up more points than Logan.
Yeah, which is not quite, but close.
Oh, Logan put up 49, right?
Right, but but Supergirl that could have turned the entire course of the competition. Because we're talking about 4
Superman,
points versus 118 points for
Yeah.
Superman.
Yeah.
had it been
Mhm.
Superman, it would be have a very different conversation right now.
Yeah. So, South Asian delegation, it was their first time in the competition. So, sometimes it's growing pains. There were some
Well, they
But-
also like
That was
legit. They
my
wanted Supergirl, like that they like
Yeah.
they like the character more.
yeah, but
Feelings
be
aside,
strategic
when you're trying to
sometimes.
win.
You got to be strategic sometimes. But
That
Are we going to do an LVP?
Yeah,
Supergirl
you know
scored
me.
4 times as many points as Yara Floor.
yeah. I mean, we definitely had high hopes for Yara Floor. Like,
I mean, even Dark Hawk, who like rarely ever shows up anymore. Good.
he had the 1 week though.
He had the one book. Yeah.
The one book with the 1 week, and he did put up how many points? 18 points.
Yes,
So-
that was when the white delegation was under the impression that this was like fantasy football, and we were just trying to win weeks.
All right. I gotta ask, was Damian Wayne drafted in the first season? Because if not,
I
he
believe he was.
definitely goes in there.
I just
I believe
imagined
he
all of
should
the
have been.
Robins were drafted. Yeah.
Yes, he was drafted in the first season. Because he put up 26 points in the first season. And in the second season, he was the number 2 scorer for the multiracial delegation with 62 points.
Yeah.
In the
You guys
in the
hear that?
fifth round.
Did you hear that?
In the fifth
Oh.
round.
Did you hear that?
So
So-
by far,
So we've got no. Who else are we looking at here?
Venom.
I feel like we've gotten off
Man-Thing-
track. I'm gonna bring it back.
Venom, Man-Thing, and Null. But we're still looking for our fourth. We're still looking for our fourth for the first time draftees. And it's a little harder than we thought.
Yeah, it is. Man-Thing?
Man-Thing is up there.
He's one of the
Man-Thing,
3.
yeah, Man-Thing,
Oh.
Venom, and Null. There's Choir's a possibility. Teddy Altman, Hulkling is a possibility.
What delegation is Quentin Quire?
The multiracial delegation.
Did we just rule out Black Knight or what?
Oh no, sorry, Black Knight's a possibility in there.
I think Black Knight probably makes the most sense.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm just making sure that there aren't other characters that we're overlooking that had not been drafted previously. Yeah, Black Knight. I'm fine with Black Knight as our. Yep.
Dane
All right,
Whitman
Black Knight it is.
about to get a much higher profile after the Eternals movie.
That's right.
That's exciting.
They're definitely like holding back on whatever is going on there, right? Like they have not showing that.
All right, guys. This is where we get crazy. The boldest pick.
The boldest pick.
And that
White
comes.
Luke Cage.
Whew.
Ooh,
I
Are we gonna
put
go
it on
to-
there. Put it on there.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on, because I feel
Yep,
Oh,
that's what
that's it,
what
Randy.
the podcast feels.
You got cut off.
Yep. The CompuServe is not kind to Randy.
Is it White
Uh-uh.
Luke Cage or White Miles Morales?
No, it's White Power
I'm gonna
Man
say-
for sure.
I'm gonna say White Luke Cage because I made the pick and I can't claim Miles Morales outside of a second degree of separation.
All right.
I feel like Luke Cage should probably not be included just because that's kind of like the first or second character that white people usually say, like, oh well, what have we raised blended him?
That is a really
No.
good point, Randy.
That is not
That
a
is-
bad
No,
argument.
it's
That
not.
is a very strong argument. That is literally the first. I mean, well, no, the first one
Number
is White
one is
Panther.
Black
The
Panther.
first one is White Panther, but the second one is Luke Cage.
Either you say Black Panther or you
Oh wait, what
you
other
say-
options do they really have?
A Storm is always out there.
Storm looks biracial. What? You gotta-
either Black Panther or Storm or Luke Cage. That's usually the ones that they go to.
Yeah, but that's all they can go to. I don't know if they know anybody else.
As
That's
the
right,
person
but
who
I'm-
made as the person who made the pick, I will defend it as bold because that is the first pick I made here. I walked into the draft, didn't know what was going on, and said, "Give me Luke Cage." Because
it definitely listen. We definitely reacted like, "Oh shit!" So listen, like you got an old shit out of us. So like, white Luke Cage is definitely should be considered.
I will say the bolder white pick would have been what's her name for Amanda Waller, because nobody saw that coming.
No, you know what else we didn't see coming? An auto pick of Black Panther.
I mean, we will consider white Amanda Waller, but we gotta, the point scoring picks should probably be way more highly than
what about Conan? Nobody saw Conan coming either.
That is true. Multiracial Conan should be considered. All right.
That is.
I guess it depends on what we consider a bold pick. Like, is a bold pick Krakoa in the second round?
That's
a
little bit too rich for our blood, guys. Like,
not to toot my own horn, but toot.
Let's see what else is out there as bold picks.
I'm gonna say Echo in the first round.
That's an auto pick.
That's an auto pick, and Echo is so also Native American. Look, Echo was one of the top scorers for the delegation.
Okay, so I would say, as far as like really bold picks, we're just sticking for like really outlandish ones. What about the
concept of Deathlock?
What about what?
The concept of Deathlock.
That's not bold. That's just called not doing your homework. I'm sorry.
The best part about the picking of the concept of Deathlock was Michael being like, I don't understand. And Joaquin being like, you will when I write the backstory. And he never wrote the backstory. It'll all make sense when the backstory comes out.
And that's why it never made sense.
That backstory is hanging out there like the third season of X-Men. Just like, oh, you're just going to keep showing me reruns for 4 years? Pretend it's the same show?
All right, let me think about it.
There's been a lot of X-Men 92 references on this episode. I'm liking it.
Oh, you know what we have to, here's what we have to tip our hat to. Polynesian Tony Stark. Because nobody saw that shit coming.
I was shocked.
We thought that he was going to go for all elemental and nature-based characters.
Which is messed up of us.
No, it really isn't, because it wasn't like it was racist. It's like, here's his draft history.
Wait, I didn't bring that racist up.
It's not like we were like, oh well, the Polynesian native, they're going for things that are elemental in the earth. It was like, no, Tamati writes stories that are based on mythology.
Wait, that's what Randy just said.
That's like that is just like he's history. Not his family's history.
Yeah, not specifically his family, just his entire racial lineage.
Jesus, Randy.
You are not getting away with that one.
No, I seriously was like, okay, he drafted Thor, he drafted Storm. There's no way he's drafting Tony Stark here. It's going to be something else. Nope, it surely wasn't. Like this, he had drafted Namor. Like it was just like, no, he's good. He's never going to draft in a million years Tony Stark.
If I could make like the sort of rule breaking choice, I would have went for like the East Southeast Asian, going for like the whole Fantastic Four.
Yeah, I thought about that, but that's
wait, didn't the team do that?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they did it, but the thing is, once they did Mr. Fantastic, Invisible Woman, and Human Torch, it it was just a matter of like when,
And no one else wanted to fuck
but the fact that they did the bold statement, they should be on there.
You're saying so once they made 3 picks, it stopped being bold?
Well, no, listen, the last 2 were back to back. The last 2 were back to back. It was like, I don't think any of the picks were like way ridiculous. You know what I mean? Like they made sense once they once they got the ball.
But
rolling,
wait, but
you
that
know?
was I'm sorry, Mike, but that was a good play on that back to back because had I been playing, I would have threw a monkey wrench in there just to throw a monkey wrench in there.
Right. Yeah. You would have because
Yeah, I would have. I
You're an
totally
agent
would
of
have.
chaos. Like you would have been like, oh shit, I'm not letting them get all four of the Fantastic Four. Fuck
Yeah,
them.
no.
Like I feel like this category is biased toward the white delegation because I find myself saying Magneto was a bold pick.
I mean,
Because
Magneto
I believe
was,
every
because he took
delegation was
away
scared to
everything
take
that
Magneto.
I mean, but we all basically stayed away from Magneto. That's
Everybody stayed away from Magneto because we're like, okay, well, clearly there's an elephant in the room here. And then like Gordy, here comes Gordy. Like, oh, I kill elephants.
Yeah, that's a bold one.
That was a
That is
bold pick.
true. That is true.
That needs to be on there.
that is out there. That is that is one that is out there as one of the final candidates. But let's see if there is another option.
I don't want to keep coming back to Null, but I do feel like Null was a bold pick.
I mean,
here we are again.
No
Wasn't bold at all.
No one was looking at Null. No, absolutely no one.
I was, because before I was a part of this, you texted me for
texted
weeks
you
how you
saying-
wanted to draft Null.
I did not text you for weeks. It was like a week. Thank you, Gordy.
I'm trying to remember some of the supplemental picks because I'm just looking at the.
I mean, we gave up the rules on those, so I don't think any of those are bold.
Yeah.
That's probably fair. That is.
Well,
probably
Yeah,
I mean,
and they're only one pick.
No, but
I really-
you could say as far as supplemental picks, it would be the first one who kind of like broke the trend of the back supporting character with Kazar.
No, because that was
No,
Agent
but
of
that was
Chaos,
that
and it
was
wasn't
under
me.
that was under serious protest. That was under serious protest. We did not approve of any of that.
I really like the Conan. Conan is bold. I really like the Fantastic Four strategy as bold, and then one of my evil picks. You guys can pick which one.
Wait, you know what else? Something you're forgetting, and I can't believe I'm about to say this. But Batman, bold first round. Put it in a.
No way.
That was a bold.
No
ass
way.
Here's where the boldness in that came in. We took advantage of a loophole in the system.
Yeah, and
was
I like because that's really bold. Because if I had been playing, I would have threw a hissy fit like no other.
You know what? When we came in and we had there were actually two delegations that round. It was us and I want to say the white delegation.
Yeah,
Each had a poll, and as soon as we listed our 4 picks for our poll, they should have totally matched them.
Mm-hmm.
They should have said, well, we also take Batman and Spider-Man and Wonder Woman and Superman, but they didn't. So
and Shep should have actually got in there. I was like, don't let him do it.
No one else got on. No one else got on. The
I was
call.
like, no.
So
But I was the third party with absolutely no personal interest in the matter.
Exactly.
so if I
That was
may,
a pretty.
so
That
here's
was a pretty masterful move, though, to get Batman at the 5th pick.
Yep.
no, not the 5th pick. I think it was the third.
I got him in the 5th pick. Yeah.
Yeah,
We
it was the
had
5th pick of every round.
Oh no, right, the 5th pick. Yeah. All right. So how do you guys feel about the? Where did he go? Sorry. How do you guys feel about the Heimdall pick for the Polynesian delegation as bold?
I'm going to say that I don't feel.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm in.
I
different-
feel
I'm gonna
nothing.
say
Nothing.
they already had Thor,
Nothing.
so yeah.
Fair enough. How do you guys feel about the Lois Lane pick for the Southeast Asian delegation as bold?
I like Lois Lane pick.
Was it bold? Do you consider it as
I
bold?
don't
Because
or-
know
Randy
if it's
likes
really
it.
bold. I thought we had that conversation before, so I don't really know how bold it is. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Fair enough.
Just take
Fair
it
enough.
away.
if we're gonna,
That's
I'm
a lot
sorry,
of
if we're gonna
hate
go,
in their direction, Randy.
if we're gonna go bold supplemental picks, I picked a rapist and a woman that got stumped in the face.
Facts.
2 women.
That's not bold at all for the white delegation.
That
if you
is
wanna
bold.
If you want to go bold supplemental picks,
That's bold.
I drafted Renee Montoya because I saw that she was scoring points and then traded her. Like I again exposed the loophole in the system. Now I traded her for America Chavez, who got me 2 points. Maybe
Oh, man.
3.
All right.
Maybe 3. I'm writing my letter to my congressman as we speak.
What do we think? Are we back on White Waller as bold or no?
Mm-hmm.
I think you got to go with one white delegation pick, and I would take Magneto of the picks.
Yeah, no.
I would listen as the delegation in question. I would just say the white delegation fucked up picks and put them all in one instead of trying to choose which one was the boldest.
No. It's got to be just the one. It's got to be just one. And Luke Cage is the.
I think the only pick that the white delegation made that I know I would not have made is Magneto.
Yeah,
it's the only one.
But that's also that. Is that bold or is that just basically
it's bold?
No one else could make it work.
It's bold only because of the specific details of what he incorporated into the backstory. Like had it been like, okay, he's a white guy who also is still Jewish and all this other stuff, and we would have been like
I did, like a punk.
Well, I mean, there would have been like no big deal, but he just was like, no, LOL, and so that was definitely a big choice.
That's what was bold.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'll put Magneto up.
And I just want to I see the irony in the fact that Randy is sticking up for the white delegation.
Let it be said, this is the first and last time.
No, but just real quick, I'm just gonna ask. Nothing from the South Asian delegation, I suppose, is bold.
Didn't they pick
the
Fantastic
question?
No, that's the East.
No, that's the East. Yeah, I'm sorry.
You mixed them up with the other Asians. Good going, Gordy.
I
mean, I would say, listen, I would say that South Asian Daredevil was pretty bold.
Drafting Matt Murdock, who was in prison in the comics at the time.
I mean, we're not talking about the strategy. We're not talking about the scoring strategy. We're talking about the draft. No, okay. Fair enough.
Tough crowd.
Okay.
Native American Lex Luthor, guys.
It's a good one.
That is a good one.
Especially given the fact that we had white Superman.
And white Superboy.
Yeah, but nobody cares about white Superboy. We care about white Superman. What do you guys think?
Well, listen, if Superman is white, Superboy better be white, or else Lois got to explain it.
Exactly. I mean, Asian Lois, though. Clark has to be explaining it too. I feel like that's an invincible situation. It's like the power of my Kryptonian genes. My white Kryptonian genes overwhelm Asian human genes. What do you guys think? Native American Lex Luthor?
Good with that.
Yes.
Yeah.
There we have it, guys. Any other?
So what are the official delegates or choices then?
All right. White Luke Cage, multiracial Conan, Polynesian Tony Stark, Native American Lex Luthor.
You're just gonna stick with that Luke Cage and not give me Magneto, huh?
Look, I want to give you an opportunity to win, because you're not gonna win with white Magneto. Like,
I'm not gonna win any
Not
of
with
these.
Jay Twitter.
I want to let you know that these are going to fan votes. I'm not gonna win.
Oh wait, what about Luis Guzman as Wong?
all right. Any other categories that you guys want to propose?
I still go for LVP. We've got an MVP. We should have a least valuable player.
All right, let's do it.
Colossus again.
Let's do it. Least valuable player. Least valuable pick. Colossus is one.
Y'all up a little.
Supergirl.
The Crow.
Supergirl. Krakoa.
What you not gonna do is disrespect Krakoa.
No, it's obviously Krakoa's in the running as a second round.
Krakoa's definitely in the running.
I'm sorry, Randy. I would have traded you Colossus for Krakoa at any time.
It is a two-person race as far as I'm concerned, because Krakoa put up in the second round 4 points. Supergirl put up
tied with Supergirl
4 points in the second round, but she was the 10th pick, and Krakoa was the.
She was the first pick, you mean?
No, Krakoa. No, Supergirl
Yeah,
was the
no,
10th
yeah,
pick
Krakoa was the
overall,
first-
and Krakoa was
the
the
first real
16th
pick.
pick.
Y'all gonna leave
got
my
it.
child alone.
Yeah.
Leave Krakoa alone.
So we have Colossus, Krakoa, Supergirl, and who else? Let's see.
Yara 4. I don't know how high she was drafted.
Gotta be.
Yara Flor was drafted in
What
the
about Carnage? No, never mind.
See, but Yara Flor was drafted
Carnage
in
was
the
great.
Yara Flor was drafted in the 6th round, where she put up 1 point.
Mike, do you have it in front of you? Who's the highest 0?
Oh no, guys. The Vision was drafted in the 2nd round, and he only put up 1 point. And guess what? That 1 point was because of the television show.
Because of Wanda.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that-
When I
that
argued he
deserves
should have
to
put
be
up
in
2 points.
Oh yeah. No, you see clearly that was White Vision, not Native American Vision. So,
Right.
like, you know. So there we have it. There's LVPs: Colossus, Krakoa, Supergirl, and the Vision. 2nd round was a rough going for a lot of people. That's basically where some people lost their whole draft.
That is going to be the category where I feel like I might win. I'm going to be pushing this Colossus narrative because no one would trade for him. No one.
You know, honestly, like I don't know how many points Harley Quinn ended up putting up for the season, but
I will put it up right now. Harley Quinn definitely put up fewer points than in the last season. Harley Quinn put up 30 points.
I'll say if we lose, it's going to be because we put Harley Quinn in the 2nd round.
And Harley Quinn, I'm just going to remind you that Harley Quinn put up in the last season in fewer weeks. Harley Quinn put up 80 points. No, I apologize. 101 points.
Holy shit.
Yeah, let him know. Let him
Quinn,
know.
When we drafted Harley Quinn, it was like, oh, she's going to score more points than a lot of first rounders. And
yes. Harley Quinn, who was drafted in the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th round in season 1, she put up 32 points in 1 week.
Yeah, it's
nuts.
It is nuts what happened to Harley Quinn in this season.
But here's the difference. Harley Quinn had her own book.
She really likes female leadership.
Harley Quinn had her own book, like in addition to appearing in other people's books.
Right.
She had one of those black, white, and red books.
Yeah.
Did the Harley Quinn show come out during last season too? The HBO.
We weren't giving out
bonus
points.
We weren't
giving out
the Harley Quinn show. I mean,
yeah, but Harley did her thing.
Can you imagine if we had counted shows last season?
She was the number 2 scorer for the multiracial delegation in season 1 in the 6th round.
Yeah.
And that's just because nobody was picking women. So I was like, no.
I believe she was the number 5 scorer for the whole season.
Yeah. So Harley Quinn in the 2nd round for us. Honestly, like obviously there were worse 2nd round picks as we've alluded to. But if we lose this season, which is very much in play, as much as Gordy wants to say I've got it in the bag, is if we lose this season, it will come down to Harley Quinn getting drafted in the 2nd round over better options.
I mean,
it's all Latinx delegation, Carlos. Just cakewalk and anger all the fantasy gods for prematurely claiming your victory. While a certain team of white people is sneaking in from 3rd place and hoping
you
for
have to stave off the East Southeast Asian delegation, who's just a couple points behind you.
Listen, they put up a 91-point week. All right, what are we gonna do? I'm hoping for a big week. I've finished in 2nd for 3 consecutive weeks, so I'm hoping that we can get over the hump and finish 1st this week and make up the 28 or 32 points.
I don't know if we've won a week since Null went away. Honestly, I'm not even sure.
I mean,
or there might have been that 1 week that Batman put up like 35 points or something like that.
Let me look. I'm looking at it right now. Latinx delegation, 32 points. No, that week, you guys only put up 44 points.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Like this week alone, I'm fairly certain Batman is about to get outscored by Blade and maybe Psylocke. Like this was a rough week.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to go ahead and do it. I am in possession of DC scores, but
Oh,
not
God.
Marvel scores.
I don't
I'm
even
gonna go
wanna see
ahead.
Let's hold it. We want the aha moment. Carlos is gonna. I want Carlos to lose his mind on here.
You want me to
when he
cry on the
wins.
air?
Fair enough. Fair enough. Sorry, listeners. I was gonna give you a peek, but
Batman put up less than 10 spoilers. There's
all right.
no way.
So now we may as well. I know we've been on the air for a long time, guys. If you're still listening, I respect it. We got to talk a little bit about about America Chavez.
Wait, what?
America Chavez.
Recent trade acquisition from the Latinx delegation. So you're in a position to speak from multiple angles on America Chavez. How do you feel about the possible changes to America Chavez?
Okay, so just like completely taking scoring out of it because
Of course.
whatever. I picked up this week's issue of America. Although I did do that to see how many points I thought she might score.
Sure.
And then
Made in America, I believe, is the name of the book.
Yes, and this was issue 3 where I was not ready because I had not read Made in America 1 or 2. I was like, let me just see how many points she's scoring this week. And she's, first of all, she's strapped to a table for most of the issue, but they retconned her entire origin, which had me feeling of two minds because they, on the one hand, America Chavez is now the one flaw in her origin was always that she's Latin presenting, but she was not actually from Earth. So she's not actually Latina. So that was always kind of like, Marvel, you can't push me this Latinx character if she's not Latinx. Like, you can't do that. And so they've changed that. According to this latest issue, she is now of Earth and she is now Latinx. And that's great. Like, that's awesome. Fantastic that she is actually a member of the community and not someone who looks a hell of a lot like us.
Now, can I jump in real quick? Like, so I know you hadn't read the first 2 issues, but hopefully you were kind of like following what was happening in the earlier issues. One thing that the first 2 issues introduced was the notion that she had been discovered by the Santana family in New York. And
Puerto Rican
family, and raised. They thought that she was just an orphan, and they raised her up till about, I want to say like 18 or 19, as part of their family as an adoptee. If they had not gone that route, the route that they went in the 3rd issue, and they just went the route of she grew up, again, like you said, Latina presenting and raised, immersed in Puerto Rican culture, would that have been a way of validating her as a Latina character?
I mean, like, it still would have been an improvement over what was there because it would have nailed down a specific culture. Because that's another thing is, like, I've heard like people saying around, well, now, she's always been like speaking like she's like a Latino culture. Like, that's not one culture, that is many cultures. Exactly. And so that, and I've heard in our different group chats, like, some refer to her dialect as like Chicana. Like, okay, I thought she was New Yorican. Like, that's a completely different part of the country and a completely different race. So like, if they had just left it there, it would have been like, okay, at least I know that they're going for a Puerto Rican character and that her origin is a little muddy, but you kind of, you'll right.
I mean, I would have said it was more comparable to like a Clark Kent, Kal-El type deal where like she comes to Earth, she's raised, immersed as part of this culture, and she takes it on as her own in very much an immigrant type story.
Exactly.
Right. But like you said, this potentially, because we haven't seen it all completely play out, but based on how it looks like she is human.
Right.
And go on. Sorry to cut you off, but
well, yeah, she is human and she is Latinx. I don't know. I don't know that they've nailed down exactly where she's from now. Cause I mean, I know she was raised by a Puerto Rican family, but I don't know what family she came from. But let's just say she's Puerto Rican straight across. And then, but what they did now is that she's now been the basically the victim of like experiments and testing to her mother's subjected her to cure her of this disease, and they gave her this multi-dimensional magic, which is where she gets her powers from some like mad scientist guy now. So her powers are now finite. Her powers now come from a white man, male scientist, and they completely did away with the utopian parallel concept. It's like a fabrication of her own like false memories now. So they like, on the one hand, great, she's a human and she's actually Latina. That's great. On the other hand, like the utopian parallel was like a cool concept. It was a
Right.
cool thing. This dimension that is a utopia that is only populated by powerful
Mhm.
women. Like that's great.
Mhm.
You know, that's a
Yeah,
really
and
good-
powerful brown women.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
And actually very much like Wonder Woman, like, you know, like
Mhm.
coming from a world of just powerful women, of color. And now, like, no, it wasn't.
Concept of no, I was about to say they kind of mixed up the concept of Superman and Wonder Woman.
Yeah. And now it's like, oh yeah, you silly girl, that didn't happen. A white man injected you with a serum, and now you've got powers. And so it like on the so again, and I understand that Puerto Rican women in history were tested on by, you know, by white scientists, and you know that's an awful, horrific story, but we don't need to relive it. Like we can, it could have been this really like, she's empowered because her mothers went to the utopian parallel, and
Right.
she, you know, like that you still could have had the utopian parallel be part of it. And so now it's this weird, like, again, the story's not done, so I can't totally make a judgment on it, but I do feel a way, like it, like, so, you know, something isn't sitting right with what they did.
Yeah, I feel you. Like I said, I'm hoping that there's more to the story. And you know, we're still kind of like, I think 2/3 of the way through the story. I feel comparable to the way you feel, that I knew that there was a criticism out there about the fact that if she was just an alien who immersed herself in different Latinx cultures,
Yeah.
that it would feel a little bit like a Dolezal type thing, or like a cosplay, you know. I still think that this is always a thing that comes up, and let me know your perspective on it. Whenever you talk about like alien species that are not humans, but they present with a particular race, that's one of the things that we talk about in the racial draft, right?
Icon.
You know, like
Icon.
no, but Icon is different because Icon is literally a shapeshifter. Like we know what his race looks like. But I was thinking more like the Kryptonians, right? Up until recently, they depicted the Kryptonians as all white people.
Right.
And even though they're technically not European descended white people, they still present as white people. And I feel like, given there's two sides of it. It's like, while not technically human whites, the fact that they are perceived that way allows them to navigate both the comic book universe and the like in universe as with white privilege.
Sure.
Yeah.
So having a different species or a different alien or different being, cosmic being, who present with a different ethnicity is still a kind of representation, even if it's not the fullest of representation. You know, having Latinx presenting gods or Latinx presenting cosmic beings is a, especially if they're speaking a language that's, you know, that's Spanish, you know, Spanish or Spanish-ish. It's, to me, it's not that much different than the fact that people visualize, you know, Greek and Roman gods as white.
Right.
You know,
I mean,
having
we basically as people with melanin have had to kind of adopt like non-human people anyway, just because we don't really see that many of them. Like until recently, we haven't seen them really show up in media. So we're like, oh yeah, Martian Manhunter is totally black. Like yeah, Panthro totally black. So I mean, yeah.
Well, it's also like in the Marvel universe, like there, I identify with Miles Morales because I am Puerto Rican and I am a kid who went to gifted schools in a big city, and like I understand that story, but I also like I gotta share him with the African American community, you know, like
Right.
it's like, yeah, no, he's definitely, but he's still definitely half ours. Like he looks like Kid Cudi, but you understand that Kid Cudi's Hispanic, right? But so like it's okay. Miles is half Puerto Rican and half black, and that's cool. And America Chavez looks Puerto Rican and is an alien, and that's cool. But like, at what point are we just going to get a Puerto Rican? Like,
Right.
at what point do we just get my one? So like that's like, I would rather live in a world where America Chavez exists than doesn't, because that is some kind of representation for sure. And representation, as I've seen in a way that I didn't even realize until I really had kids, like when they look at superheroes and they're like, wait, Miles Morales, his house has a Puerto Rican flag on it, just like, you know, just like I've seen, like like the Puerto Rican flags on our clothes and stuff like that. That matters to kids. It does. So I would rather that exist in the world, but like, can we just get a human that's just
and I would say, to your point, DC, like it's sort of surprising that Marvel is kind of doing it, because Marvel is like putting itself out there as the world outside your window. DC is the one that is kind of more like, well, yeah, we can kind of present these different countries that sort of seem like somewhere in Africa, but actually it's not going to be Namibia. It's going to be Zambezi, which doesn't exist in real life. Like, we're going to do those kind of things that sort of give you the archetypal idea of it, but not quite. So it is kind of surprising that Marvel sort of opted to do that.
Yeah, I mean, I hear that, but I also acknowledge that, part of the issue, and this is what one of the things we talk about all the time on the podcast, is that you can introduce characters and then the characters not catch on.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, you also have the issue of, like, there was something to the America Chavez character, and it helped that she was also lesbian. Let's not forget that aspect.
Sure.
That, you had this young, like, I mean, I wouldn't say butch per se, but rougher around the edges. Like, I would say New Yorican though. I would say the way that she presents in most of her incarnations, even if she has this kind of murky background, like, she presents herself as like a tough, Latina girl, like, who doesn't take a lot of crap. And it caught on, like, people really related to her in that presentation. And then it becomes more of a Superman problem at that point, because it's like, if they had just made her human, then they would have still had to get into the issue of, like, where did her superpowers come from?
Right.
Maybe she's not as popular if she's just like non-powered, or if she, like, is bitten by a radioactive
lesbian.
Lesbian.
I was gonna say
a
radioactive
lesbian Puerto Rican flag. Yep.
I was gonna say, like, yeah, she ate a radioactive arroz con pollo. Like, got her powers. You know what I mean? Like, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it's tough, because you obviously, there are other characters that they've constantly been trying to, like, bring into the fray. Like, we talk a lot about White Tiger, for instance. A street level character, but like, what are the chances that given how there's often a ceiling on the popularity of street level characters versus cosmic Avengers level characters? Even Robbie Reyes, who is in the Avengers and has been in the Avengers for a little bit of time now. He's got that issue of being the probably second most popular Ghost Rider, but not like the Ghost Rider, like the one that people think of when they think of Ghost Rider.
I mean, it's like, okay, the best example I think I can come up with, and it's not quite the same example because the popularities of the characters are skewed, but like, imagine if it wasn't a meteorite that hit Wakanda, it was a spaceship, and all of the Wakandans are black aliens, and they're not actually humans. And they didn't actually, like it's not like they were actually tribes of Africans. It's like, no, we were aliens. And
I would
created...
absolutely not like that.
Exactly. And even though when you read a book, they're not talking about how they're black aliens all the time. They are black people on Earth. In your head, you're like, they just still couldn't give me a full black story, right? So
no, I get that, but I also think that if they did that, like, black people would still probably like it. You know what I mean? Like, we wouldn't like it as much.
It would be a situation where you kind of hold your nose and go, okay, this, but the rest of this is still good. And that's what I think with America Chavez. There are two like main aspects. Like, there is the empowered woman, super powerful and coming from a world of super powered women. And then there is the Latina part. And it used to be like, she's a super powered woman, but not quite Latina. And now it's like, she's super Latina, but not quite a super powered woman. Why couldn't you just give us 100% of both? It's possible. It really is not that hard to sit down and go, how could they have kept the utopian parallel and made her an earthling? It's really not that difficult.
Right.
But like I said, I'm willing to withhold judgment till the end of the story. And I'm also willing to say, like, it's not going to change that I like America Chavez as a character. And I do like that she's basically wearing an American flag, but also very much
a Puerto Rican flag.
It's a Puerto Rican flag, and I love it. That's great. That's her costume. And I also totally appreciate that if the story is not as pinned down as it can be, like, they'll just tweak it again in another 5 years until we get it right, until we get to the America Chavez.
Now, what I will say, and I think we talked about this, like, I remain troubled that in the MCU they did not cast a Puerto Rican actress to play America Chavez, because our choices in that respect are to have a non-Puerto Rican actress playing Puerto Rican, or de-emphasize the Puerto Rican aspect of America Chavez. If you had to choose which of the two, which would you prefer?
Okay, so I'm choosing between a non-Puerto Rican actress playing a Puerto Rican or America Chavez being this nebulous Latina who's not. Yeah. I guess I would rather have a non-Puerto Rican actress playing a Puerto Rican, but specifically a New Yorican.
Yeah.
Like I'm from Chicago. They are a totally different breed over there in New York. Like, it's a completely different type of Puerto Rican. and it's very specific. And when you read her, at least when I read her, that's what I hear. I hear Jenny from the block. I don't hear the Puerto Ricans that I grew up around. And yeah, so I do hope that they do that. I don't think they're going to. And I will feel a way about that. They I don't feel no animus toward the 15-year-old Mexican girl because it's not her fault. But even the woman we fan casted, for the draft is Cuban and she's from Miami, but
she didn't she play a New Yorican?
She played a New Yorican in the
Get Down.
Yeah. And it's just a completely different thing there.
Randy? Looks like the CompuServe gods are not being kind.
Sorry, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I just was going to say, as my little small bit of consolation for Carlos, I actually think that much like we got the first bit of Monica Rambeau in Captain Marvel, I think we're going to get that first bit of America in Doctor Strange, where we actually see her a bit older down the line, and they may actually try to be more accurate to that casting when she.
I don't think so. I don't think they're going to recast. I think they're going to. I think they're just going to have her grow into the role, though. I don't think they're going to do.
It's possible they could just have her grow into it, but I guess that they're going to recast only because she's like younger than the girl who's playing Hawkeye, and so I could be wrong, but I would at least try to hold out hope in that respect.
I think that they'll get a lot more backlash. I mean, you saw the little bit of backlash they got when they recast. What's the guy? the Scott Lang's daughter. You know, like they got a little bit of backlash when they recast her. I think they'll get a ton more backlash if they recast America.
I mean, like, listen, if the story for Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness is that whatever demon that took Wanda's kids has done this before and did it with America Chavez when she was little, and now we see grown America Chavez at the end, that I'm fine with that, like whatever, but I don't think that that's what they're going to do. I don't. And I do think that it is weird that she's not the same age as Kate Bishop. That's a weird, because now it's like, Mike, I think we talked about this off air.
Yeah.
It does feel like it's going to be like a
big sister, little sister.
If they even ever interact, it'll be a big sister, little sister, mentor, mentee kind of thing at best.
Exactly.
And I think, Mike, you had said that, and I would tend to agree, like that they kept her, they might be like hiring someone very young to stay away from her sexuality for as long as possible.
Yeah.
Which sucks, honestly.
Yeah. It really sucks.
If that's what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm cynical enough to think that's the case, but I also acknowledge that, you know, her age is comparable to the casting of Iman Vellani. That's her last name, right? The one who's playing Ms. Marvel. You know, I think that they're thinking of the two of them as around the age group that they're looking for this like next generation of young heroes that will grow into the role for the next decade. So by casting 15 and 16-year-olds to grow into late 20. No, you're not agreeing?
I mean, as much as I don't know for sure, but I genuinely feel like the Doctor Strange, movie is going to be, we see her origin, and then in subsequent movie or Disney Plus show, then we finally see that she shows up as America Chavez, the one that we are going to be working with going forward.
I mean, maybe. I mean, if that's the case, then good on them, and hopefully they do come through with the authentic casting. But I don't know. I mean, this actress does have a bit of a name. She's been on some stuff, I believe some Disney related stuff. So
that checks out.
Yeah, so it wouldn't surprise me if she's, in that Disney Channel family. And again, I think it's possible because to a lot of people, Latina, I think it's possible that they could go either the route of her playing Nuyorican as best as she can. I think it's equally likely they could have her playing Nuyorican or just playing like nebulous Latina.
Yeah, and there is like this issue that like doesn't really get talked about, but like within the Latino community, things are pretty Mexico normative. When you learn Spanish in high school, like I had to because I don't speak Spanish. When you learn Spanish in high school, you're not learning Puerto Rican Spanish or Colombian Spanish. You're learning Mexican Spanish.
So, not even Spain Spanish?
Well, they'll teach you some Spain Spanish, but that actually is closest to Mexico's Spanish. Yeah. So like when I would come home and like practice Spanish, my mom would be like, "Those aren't the words we use. Like that's not even the vocabulary. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know, but like we would never say whatever word for this or whatever."
Right.
So, there is something to like we had one. We had it.
Yeah. And if we're being honest, for like the vast majority of the country, when people think Latino or Latina, they think Mexican.
Yes.
And I know that that's a thing. I know that there's people who use Mexican interchangeably with Latino.
Yeah.
Or Latino.
And like, look, my wife's Mexican. My kids are half Mexican. All good in the hood. But you want to be able to be like, but we had this Puerto Rican superhero. We have this, Miles Morales. You guys aren't quite as dark as Miles Morales, but it's fine. He's still cousin Miles in this house. But it just kind of sucks that like they just didn't get this right the first time, and now they're kind of botching it. In my opinion, looks like they're botching it the other way.
Right.
going, like, and so I just want to see that happy marriage of the two origins. There was a way to do this that didn't involve a man giving her powers, that didn't involve testing on her, making her basically a victim of testing.
A white man
A
giving her
white
powers.
man, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, a white man created the utopian parallel, but it was
not in the but not in the universe.
Right. Exactly. So yeah.
At least it wasn't a story that was like that heavily based in trauma.
Exactly. It wasn't trauma based. That's it.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I thought it was really important to like give you an opportunity to speak your piece. And like listeners, if you have a take, we'd love to hear it. Especially we'd love to hear it from our Latinx listeners. You can hit us, the Racial Draft Pod on Twitter, Racial Draft on Facebook, racial.draft on Instagram. Carlos, go ahead and drop your social.
I'm at Carlos Freites Jr. on Twitter. That's CarlosFreytesJr. I will spell it for you this time.
And listen, we will get, if you have a take, we'd like to hear it, and we'll talk about it on the podcast next week. But like I said, I thought it was important to give Carlos his opportunity, and I mean, with that, I guess it's time to wind it down. Anyone have any final words about our racial draft business and about our shenanigans? Kia, you're a big shenanigans player.
Yes, I was.
Has the redacted kicked in yet?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, nice.
Come tune in next week while the Latinx delegation gives up a 14-point lead in the final week because Batman decided to take a fucking magic carpet ride through Gotham.
Oh man. Latino Batman decides to take a siesta on the final week.
Come
on.
I'm glad that since I've been quiet for a long time, because I'm listening and learning, that Mike's still bringing the racism.
All right, Gordy, drop your social on the crew. I mean, not on the crew,
man,
for listeners.
It's Gordy 924195556. Boom! I am not a Russian trollbot as much as I may look like one.
Did I hear you talking on a walkie-talkie?
Yeah. Thanks. First name, bunch of numbers.
Exactly. Randy, let the people know where they can find you.
You can find me at Randy S0725 on Twitter, and on Facebook is Randy Micah Smith, and you can also check my hashtag superpower list.
All right. And Kia, where can they find you?
On the Twitter, and on Instagram, Kia BIZM.
Kia B-ism. Also on Clubhouse, which has been recently opened up to the Android family. I'm not yet on Clubhouse, but maybe I will be one day.
I will not.
But you can also find me on social media at MTFIII. That is the same on Facebook and the same on Twitter and on Instagram. Michael Terrell Ford on Facebook. Don't try to message me there. I will ignore you. But you can find, like I said, the Racial Draft Podcast, where I will be very responsive. And if this is your first show, I apologize, but check out the older shows too, because we did our thing this season. We're winding down. We're about to have our season finale for season 2, and we're about to make some moves in season 3. So if you're part of a delegation that has not been represented, you have an extra rationale, extra reason to hit us up, because we want to expand the delegations in season 3. So, hit me up, hit up one of the other guests, and let's get it going. We'll kick off sometime in June. We're going to be kicking off season 3. The rule changes to come for sure. And we'll talk about it in the upcoming weeks. So hopefully you'll join us in those weeks. But until next time, folks, all things are possible.